Cheers, queers! What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today we're continuing our scene-by-scene breakdowns of Pluto the series, and today we'll be beginning episode 4.
Woo!
Woo! Which means after we complete this episode, we'll be a quarter of the way through Pluto. That's an accomplishment.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's 12 episodes.
Yeah, I could not. How did I forget how many episodes there were? No, there's 12 episodes. That would be a third of the way. Right?
Is it?
Four
Can
times
we not
three
do math?
12.
Can I not do math? All right, then we are a quarter of a way officially done because we did episode 3. Okay, never mind. Math and gay people, it doesn't work out. Yay, stereotypes. Okay, so we're going to start with episode 4. Before we get into that, just a quick announcement. At this stage, our Pluto merch giveaway for the mug and the candle has completed. So like the entries are closed at the time you will receive this episode. However, because we film in advance, at our time of filming, it's still happening, so we don't know who the winner is yet. So
it wouldn't be fair if we pulled them now.
Yeah, I hope you entered. I hope you enjoyed. Next episode, we will announce the winner on here so everybody knows who won what. So thank you in advance to everybody who participated, and we're hoping to do giveaways in the future again like this. So if you enjoyed this and if you thought, let us know what you thought of this process. If you participated, if this worked, did it work? Was it easy? Was it not? Let us know because we would like to do more in the future.
There were a lot of bonus challenges. You did not have to complete all of them. There are just opportunities to increase your odds while also helping us out.
Yeah, everybody wins. Well, like 2 people won, but everybody won in their participation. We got also, participation trophies.
Like, because we do some book clubs, so I was like, should we give away some books as well? Would you want copies of the books we talk about or like the shows that they're based on? Let us know.
All right. Okay, and with that brings us to our corrections clownery section. We didn't have a lot of like actual corrections for our clownery, but we did have one comment that I really enjoyed and thought was relevant to our discussion. So this is from our YouTube. The user is Faye. I hope it's Faye and not Fi. Sorry if it's Fi. Faye 2762. Now, this user is watching the right YouTube channel because this particular commenter left us a novel of amazing thoughts and feelings. So like, go check out the OG comment because it's incredible. I'm going to do an abbreviated version of it because...
This is abbreviated?
Yes, this is the abbreviated version.
I gotta go find this comment.
You gotta go find the comment. Anyway. This is abbreviated because it's relevant to our clownery. So, this was on our last episode of Pluto. So, this commenter writes, what I concluded about why May still calls I even in distress at first was because she kind of had recently learned that her true love was named Ioun and not which was a name she remembered all these years as the person who changed her life. She knows it isn't her twin sister, but I think she still had associated that name tag with her of the person who saved her that one time and will continue to do so as we learn later. That is why I believe when she's in distress, she still calls her out of reflex and memory, parentheses, especially since she is blind. So this is very important, end parentheses. Even when she knows it isn't actually her twin sister, but it's I. Given the timeline, she still is learning about Ioun as a person and learning the differences between the two twins. So detaching the name association of now to Ioun, parentheses, the real name of the person that saved her and changed her life, which she probably had a mantra around that name. Yeah, girl. In parentheses, will take some time. That is why I concluded she still calls her even when in distress at first, because I don't believe any sane person would try to keep up an act no matter how good at lying when they are in danger and their senses are heightened due to their blindness. Surely May would have slipped there when she almost got run over or when she called I about the bug, probably due to being petrified. Okay, so that's addressing why we're always like, God damn it, May. How are you all calling her no matter what's going on?
Okay, so first of all, this makes complete sense, and I don't know why I didn't think of that. I mean, I know why, because... Anyway, that is a great thing to point out, because it has been for so many years. Great job. Just great job.
That's a really great point and a great analysis. Personally, I choose to believe that May is so committed to the bit because I find it amusing personally.
I think May would
that.
still also be really good at that. I think they're both very accurate because May is weirdly.
It's a very valid observation. I just choose to believe May is just very committed to what she's doing because she's a perfectionist.
That too. Because I feel like as soon as she did learn that it's I, she would be very insistent in her brain to like make sure that she calls her I. Kind of like if someone were to switch their name, she would be the type of person to be like, okay, this is who you are now. At least that's what I feel like. We don't have that confirmed in the show, but like that's just...
No. The only thing is, like, later, like, in a couple episodes, she'll start talking with her cousin, and she, like, it will explicitly call her I. So it's, like, not like she doesn't know, but you're right. It's, like, she's breaking years of habit of, like, thinking of this person as Very but, like, possible. she did know for right early on in the blindness that, like, when was like, you're in love with my sister I and not me. So, like, Mae's had some time to process this, but you're right. Like, reflexively... it's been so like that can make sense why like her reflex is to say that and not I. Which does that ever come up later where she accidentally calls her in a sexy situation and then we're like, wait a minute.
That's
fucked up.
They did not put that in.
No.
For a reason.
I'm sure there's a fan fiction somewhere. Let's be real. If you know of it, put it in the comments. All right. Anyway, we have a lot to get through this episode, so thank you again. Please, everybody, leave your thoughts and comments. We will continue to read them. Just know they're going to be delayed because of how we film. But anyway, let's get started with episode 4. So episode 4 picks up where we just left off in episode 3, where I is taking May to the place that is so loud it drowns out the voices in her mind, which means riding motorcycles. And this is I's form of like relaxation, if you think about it, because that's how she comes to her center and like calms the demons in her mind, etc. And like, if you were to glance at May, who's like a privileged woman, like you'd assume like her form of relaxation is not riding motorcycles through traffic. It's probably like going to a spa, like sitting in a quiet room and like reading for pleasure. But I was like, let's go on motorcycles. Like, what a contrast, you know?
We got to get her out of her comfort zone.
We got to get her out of her house. It's becoming a prison, you know?
It really is.
It is. So this is a form of like actual escapism because we're escaping her prison. All right, so but before we can go, unlike I's first motorcycle ride with her friends, she's like, let's put on a helmet, May. So we're already off to a better start than I's first motorcycle ride with Ben. Because she's like, safety matters because I care about you. And this whole exchange is really, really cute because it's like I's kind of taking care of May and like May's like doing this thing for the first time and it's very exciting and she's with I. So they're mostly smiling and being cute. And it's this beginning is super cute and like well needed after all the drama.
Understatement.
I know. And then I explains poetically, as she does, why she loves riding her motorcycle. And she's like, I love like the wind rushing around me, the cars honking, pedestrians arguing, which doesn't paint a fantastic picture of this experience, honestly.
It sounds absolutely awful and like my anxiety nightmare.
I know, it sounds terrible. And May's like, huh? But I's like, okay, bottom line is like, all of the noises of just life drown out the bad thoughts I'm having inside. Okay, outside drowns the inside. That's kind of why this is her relaxation, right? This is her escapism. And this is really cute. So when I's explaining this, she smiles really, really brightly because she's sharing a part of herself with May. Like, this is something personal to her. And she's like excited to tell another person this, which is really sweet because I imagine aside from her friends, I doesn't have a lot of people to like tell personal things to who like give a shit or seem to give a shit, you know? And on the reciprocating end of that, May is clearly really happy to actually get to know something personal about I because I is willingly opening up to her, which is huge. I, the woman who flees to her car when something spooks her. Like, she's being forthright about, like, herself, which is we've come leaps and bounds since the first episode, basically. But as I is describing all of this, the only takeaway May had from this description is she gets real serious and she's like, "Wait, what makes you have bad? Why are you having bad thoughts?" Like, her first response to I being like, "This is why I ride motorcycles," is, "Why are you sad?" Like, she's more concerned about I than like the method of escapism, which says a lot about like where May's brain's at. It's her focus is taking care of I, which is really cute, and again, something I needs, you know. But I love I's response to why do you have bad thoughts? She's basically like, life. Like, you know, life is why I have bad thoughts, you know? I'm alive, which is super relatable.
But I like that she says that everyone has their miserable moments right after this, because it lets us know that I knows that she's not alone in hardships and things that happen in life. Yeah, maybe not everyone has their twin sister tell them to go break up with their girlfriend for them on their wedding day.
We don't know. We're not twins. Maybe not everyone has that experience.
Are you a twin? Have you had that experience? I'm sorry if you had. Did you find true love? Let us know.
Did you write a novel?
Were you in this situation? Very curious.
Are you I or Let us know.
Are you an I or are you an
In general, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, just in general too. But it lets us know that I know she's not alone. Like, people have things happen to them that are miserable moments. Like, that's just life. Whereas I don't think that this is as true for that we get to know later.
Poor
So, like, I still has, like, this good outlook on life. And it's very admirable.
Yeah, she's the street smarts one, so she's just like, that's just what life is, living day by day. It is what it is. That's why I try to find the little escapes when I can, you know, to keep me sane. Which I thought was a really relatable way to look at the world, like you're saying.
And we see later in this episode, in the next part, that she does understand that, like, these things happen to people, and it's just, like, the things that you're dealt with, and you're just dealing with life as it comes. I just love you, I.
Wait till we get to Ben, speaking of dealing with shit as it comes to you. My
God, yeah.
All right, so back to the motorcycle. So May asks, she's like, is the noisiness of the world really enough to drown out these thoughts that I'm having, I? And I says, well, girl, there's only one way to find out. But don't worry, I'll be with you. And it was really cute the way she adds that. So she's not like, okay, we're going to have this experience, but she's like, you're going to have this experience with me. Like, that was so cute. And then she like smiles and gets all happy. And this is I flirting her on her, and she's pretty good at it. Not gonna lie. She hasn't got a lot of practice. She's pretty good at it. And May is really into this. Like, she's like, this is the best way to start the day, honestly.
This part one is just really I slipping into the comfortability of being with May as herself.
Yes.
Because, like, we've seen her start to be herself, like, this entire time. But this is her. There's nothing there of the shadow of right now.
No, this is I shining brightly. And, like,
diamond.
It's cute. Okay, so then after I's flirting, May gets a little subconscious / curious about, and she's like, wait, but how do I look in this helmet? Because, like, she's never done this before, so, like, she has no frame of reference of what she would probably even look like in a motorcycle helmet. And I's response, she's like, you look funny. I mean, cute, you look cute, it's fine. I'm like, okay, Key, what are you doing? What was this response?
Okay, first of all, yes. I love that. That is definitely...
That's such a Key line.
It's very true.
She's like, it's not bad, it's horrible.
But this just made me think, like, can you imagine if Key was dropped into a room with Big Nung and I?
That would be my favorite show of all time. Key is from Somewhere Somehow, if you don't know. It's
yes.
Soon on Idol Factory. We read the novel. Key is my favorite character, probably ever.
Anybody listening to this, definitely check out that show. Check out our, as of right now, Volume 1 discussion is out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's such a great book. Read the book, first of all, because we're going to ruin
read the book.
Read
Even
the
if
book
you watch
first.
the show, read
There's
the book.
2 of them.
Read the book. Key's inner monologue is
They're
the best
so
thing
good.
on planet Earth. Like, her inner
But
monologues are
seriously,
so fucking
I
funny.
could just the personalities of Key with Big Nung and I, just all of them together, and
I
then
would
like
die.
thinking about it, like you have to add Pac because Pac is the
Key's best friend.
but like just if you don't know who Pac is Jim and Prick. Well, it's Prick. It's literally
it's Prick from the Loyal Pin, but the modern version.
Yeah, the modern Prick. The modern Prick. Anyway, sorry, that's a show title.
That would be their show.
But like Pac would think Key was kidnapped and like break into the room that was fully unlocked, but Pac didn't even try to unlock, like check if it's unlocked, just to save Key. That's my fan fiction.
I love how you went off on a somewhere somehow fan fiction instead of Ian.
Yeah,
the show's so good. Anyway, that book was fucking amazing. But like, this was a cheeky ass line from I is basically what I'm saying. Which I's not cheeky very often with that we've seen so far, and I think that like you're saying, like this is I's actual personality, because this whole adventure they're about to go on, it's I being very I, and she does things like heckles chefs and things like that. And so like I is a cheeky person, just May hasn't seen I in her element before, and this whole experience with the motorcycle ride and like the take your girlfriend to work day thing that they're about to do is I in her element. And so I think I love this. I thought this was important for them to like their next step to like just get to know each other as people, is I just being I basically. And the thing with the helmet's really cute because May is really cute. She's like touching the helmet. She's like, I don't know how I look in this. And she's like, I really wish I could see right now, which May doesn't say that very often. Like, yes, when she's like, I'm in this virtual shower with I wish I could see, obviously. But like here she's like, I wish I could see me, right? Like it's May doing something, stepping out of her comfort zone. It's May being brave with I wish I could see that. I thought that was saying a lot coming from May. And truly though, May, instead of you being able to see yourself, I wish you could see I's face staring at you while you're saying this, because that's love, Your Honor. Is like this face, the way she just like stares at May like she's a goddess is just everything, honestly.
And the smile just adds to it.
It does. It's so pure and bright, and it's perfect.
And she's happy.
She's happy.
We let I be happy.
Seriously. Let May see I being happy. Okay, so then May's all ready to go, and then I, off screen, I assume, puts all her motorcycle gear on in slow motion, and then she starts up the bike. And once the engine starts to rumble, May kind of looks a little nervous because, like, it's one thing to be like, yeah, let's do this thing. And it's another thing to, like, do it. So she looks a little, like, trepid getting in on this. And then I, who's had her first motorcycle ride before and knows what this is like, looks back at May and she's like, are you sure you still want to do this? Like, because it can be, like, imagine doing this, being able to see, and then not being able to see and getting on a motorcycle. I would never have the nerve of May in the scene, even if I was there, you know?
I right now I don't want to get on a motorcycle, so
seriously,
I'm good.
Like, damn, girl. All right, but overall, I get the sense that May is a little scared to like actually do this, but having I makes May fearless. So her response is the fucking cutest thing ever, where she throws her hand up above her head and she's like, let's go fast and furious, which like is such a cute response. It's so enthusiastic and carefree and childlike, which we don't get from May very often. It's so cute.
That's why this part 1 is even cuter, because they're both being themselves, which they're not allowed to do much. You're muted.
I said, yeah, that's a really good point. But like, let's be real, even if she was terrified, riding a motorcycle for an extended period of time is an amazing excuse to just hold on to I. So there's that. So she could just be really excited about that. She's like, let's go.
Let's go. I get to touch I.
I get to hold I for hours. All right, so then we proceed to I and May driving around Thailand on the motorcycle, essentially. And this good time keeps on going because May just looks like a kid in the candy store the whole fucking time. Like, she's just so free. Like, she looks free to just smile and like wave her hands in the in the air, which maybe she's a little too carefree. Like, what the fuck, girl? Like, you can't see.
Yeah, and what I notice is that I does not stop May from letting go at all and waving her hands in the air like she just don't care. And
about her safety, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, but I's letting May experience everything, even though she could have very easily been worried about her, like, that she would fall, you know, rightfully so, that she would fall off this moving motorcycle and something would happen just because, like, she literally cannot see if there's, like, a car passing her right next to her, or there's, I don't know, a low branch. I don't know what could be there.
Right.
Anyway.
Anything could happen.
But I here is reinforcing the fact that she sees May as a person and not her blindness. Like, she's putting trust in May, and we're past the point of it being like, oh, I have to protect you. Like, no, you are able to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But she is right there if anything were to happen.
I would throw herself on the ground to save May on the moving motorcycle. Yes, she would. It's fine. She's the knight in shining armor. So yeah, all your points are super valid. This moment is about May and May, because why are we on the motorcycle? Because May had a horrible day, and I's like, let me help you feel better. So if May is feeling well enough to throw her hands in the air and she's smiling, I's gonna let her do that because she wants May to be happy. Okay, so my favorite moment though of the whole motorcycle ride is after May has her Titanic moment with her hands in the air. She grabs I around the waist because safety. And she's just like beaming as like the noise of the world works its magic. And then I was driving, looks down to where May's arms are encircling her waist, and she just smiles. Like, she is so happy to just be close to May in general, but to be close to May and then be the source of her happiness in this moment, because she's the reason they're on the motorcycle, right? And she's the reason right now, or the conduit at least, to which May is having this experience. After she just witnessed her father like tear her down, that's huge. And I'm glad that I has all these wins going on right now. First with Mima earlier in the day, and now this. Like, I deserve some wins, and this was like the morning of I winning, and I'm happy about that.
Let's stay here forever.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All right, so then apparently I decided it's take your girlfriend to work day, because she starts taking May on all her like DoorDash errands. And so they end up at this like food vendor, and they're waiting off to the side while like the chef does their thing. And it's really funny because like May doesn't seem to be able to handle the fumes of the food. She's just like clutching onto I and like making all these faces. But clutching onto I, right? So that's still winning, even if the fumes are not your deal. And then I starts heckling the chef, okay? And she's like, my customer has been waiting so long, she could have had 3 kids by now. Like, what the fuck?
What makes you even think of that line?
That's such a good line. Like, oh my God.
It's so good.
It's so good. And the chef, just without missing a beat, banters back and is like, I bet they're all dogs. Like, this was ridiculous and so funny. Like, they're just like naturally having this like bantering conversation, and then May, who sheltered little May, the princess who finally comes out of the palace and is among the common folk, gets all serious, and she's like, we can sue her for defaming your customer. And like, her serious face is so fucking adorable. I can't even. She's just like, That's so cute.
I did love that, because like she just like slowly goes into like, she could be sued for defamation.
We can sue her. That face. And I just looks back at her, because like I clearly has done this before. And because she says, like, girl, don't you know that, like, the angrier the chef gets, the food tastes better? So I is, like, doing her customer a service by, like, heckling the chef, because I assume what happens is the chef, like, loses track of how much ingredients they're throwing in there while they're fighting with I, and so the food gets better. So this poor chef must have perfect blood pressure to put up with customers like I, who know that if they heckle them, they're gonna get better food. Or the chef has an anger kink, and that's fine. We're not kink shaming anybody here, like you do you, chef.
You know, I does a lot for her job then, if she's doing this not even for her own food.
Right, it's not her food. It's to get tips or whatever. It's so funny. And then, okay, so then once May realizes what I is doing, like she's like, I is doing this on purpose to make the food taste better, she calls her, she's like, you little rascal, and starts laughing. And it's like, May, this is the woman you were in love with this whole time. She heckles chefs for extra peppers or whatever.
Extra peppers.
Okay, and then drunk off the high of May having fun, I like pulls May closer to her and then keeps heckling the chef. She's like, now you're in on it too. So it's just very, again, a cute moment of just May stepping into I's life to see what it's really like, because truly May doesn't know what the hell I does or what her days are really like. All she knows is she's not a flight attendant, because that's what is. So here's May like getting to see like what I's day-to-day looks like, and it's kind of fun. Like they're having fun during I's like just day, which I think is important and another way for them to bond.
And it's things she's never experienced even in her life.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so then after the chef completes the food, I then drops off the food with the customer. And the customer thanks her, and then she's like, hey, who's working with you today? And this question must be real serious for I, because I takes the time to flip open the visor on her helmet before she answers this question, and then she answers with this humongous smile, and she says, it's my girlfriend. Like, this was so bold coming from I.
She wanted to be in the moment there.
Oh, she certainly is, because in I's brain today, May is her girlfriend. Like, she is fully living her wildest dream right now, which is May is her girlfriend. Because think about what's happening right now. I is saying out loud to people who know her in real life and being super clingy with May. Like, the chef knew her and she was being really clingy with May, right? And then this customer clearly knows her because she's gotten this food before for this customer. And then she's like, that's my girlfriend. So she's like actually living her life with May as her girlfriend. And so, like, when in the other episode, when I was like, fuck telling the truth, she meant that shit. She's like, I am gonna be May's girlfriend. I'm gonna be or whatever the fuck. And truly, though, is it a lie? Because if you were to ask May in this moment, is this your girlfriend? She would also say yes. So, like, the name.
No one's lying right now. I mean, we are all lying, but no one's lying.
It's like tomato, like, whatever. That's my girlfriend, this person.
True.
Yeah. So, like, I thought this was so bold from I, because, like, these people actually know her as I, right?
Also bold of I to bring May into her world, too, because, like, if all these people know her as I, what's stopping them from saying I?
Yeah, no, 100,000,000%. Why are they not greeting her as I? That's true. Maybe they're not that close to where they're on a nickname level. But yeah, no, that's valid. They could have been like, hey, I. Like, oh, yeah, that's my other nickname or whatever. Yeah, have fun explaining that.
It's my work name.
Right. It's I. You know, she doesn't think things through. Okay, so May, who, like me, when I first watched this, was not expecting I to call her girlfriend, starts smiling as I is talking to this customer, and they're talking about how pretty her girlfriend is and shit, and, like, I is just dropping actual I truth bombs everywhere, and, like, May's like, oh my god, she thinks I'm her girlfriend. Like, and then May gets to hear that for the first time, and, like, what a sweet sound that must be, because she's waited years for this, and here it is, which is really cute. So then after that, the customer shoos I away because like customers got shit to do. And I turns to check on May, and she obviously gay stares for a bit because it's I before asking if May's ready to keep going on their DoorDash adventures. And then May has this other cute like Top Gun moment where she like whips out some aviators like a freaking action hero, and then she's like, "I'm ready." Like it's so cute just to see May having fun, you know?
I feel like May has also watched a lot of action movies growing up to escape. Be like, some sort of other action needs to happen in my life. And so she just watches these movies and now she's living it out.
Let's be real. Her father would never have let her do anything remotely close to this. Like, he probably would be like, you're not even allowed to have aviator sunglasses. You know what I mean? Like, this is all rebellious May today, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. And she just seems so happy. And she deserves this after all the bullshit she has been through. So once Maverick's ready to go, she wraps her arms around I's waist, and I does the thing again where she looks down at May's arms and smiles. Because I think for I today, not only is she like stepping into the role of what's it like if I actually got to date May, I think she's feeling what it feels like to actually be May's girlfriend and like have May act that way and also have people look at them and be like, oh, is that your girl? Like, you know what I mean? Like all the feelings I must be having right now, I think are big and new because as we'll come to find out, I's like dated dudes before, but like never felt anything. But like here, she's experiencing all of the things of what dating somebody you're actually into is like. And she seems really enchanted by it. All the smiles she has, the little like stolen smiles, like speak volumes about how I feels today.
Big feelings.
Very big, and they're new, which is the other thing.
Which is very confusing.
Yeah, well, yeah. Because it's like the Big Nun situation. She's, you know, somebody who's in their 30s or she's close to 30, never had these feelings before, and then has to navigate it with the messiness of the other. To fucking chow. You have to not only are we navigating that, we have to navigate all the ridiculousness that's going on with the person you're having the feelings for. Classic chow. Makes for great television. Okay, so then I goes to turn the motorcycle back on, and we get a glimpse of her keychain, and it's got a little astronaut on it. So, like, the commitment to the space themes, I will always love GMMTV for that. They commit, and they don't acknowledge a lot of these things. They're just little quick details to be like, Pluto. Don't forget Pluto.
I'm gonna say it's canon that I and May watched Uranus 2324 together.
I think that's valid.
Mm-hmm. It has to be.
It has to be. They both like independently like space, which is really cute. So the next stop is the tourism police station where I picks up a document that she has to deliver as part of her door dashing adventures. And since they're at a stopping point, I encourages May to drink water because it's Thailand, they're out in the heat, it's probably hot. Drink water so nobody dies. And I love the way I facilitates this for May because remember, like, I has never been a caretaker before, but if you watch her with May, she really does step into a caretaker role with May where she gets the water bottle and then like gets May's hands and guides May's hands to the water bottle and then helps her. Like she does all the things to like help somebody who can't see without being asked. She just like steps into the role and does it out of her.
Very natural.
Very naturally, yeah, which is awesome. It's again, it says a lot about. It's really sad that I felt like nobody could ever rely on her because like she is so natural at that role of being somebody you can rely on, which is like kind of shitty for I.
But what's also natural is that this is great product placement because you too can own this water bottle. However, it looks like it would be terrible to clean, so
yeah.
buy at your own risk.
That's why I stuck with the mug. Also, like, again, this is I's thing. So I just naturally has this little space-themed water bottle. May has space-themed Tupperware containers. When they eventually move in together, all their shit's gonna match just naturally. It's gonna be great. Okay, so as May's drinking, I starts fixing, like, May's windblown hair. And it's just it's domestic cuteness at its finest. And it's just adorable. And then afterwards, May's like, okay, you should drink the water because you're the one fucking driving in the heat. And we're in a jacket. Like, what are you doing? Like, drink some water. And this is also like reciprocal good caretaking behavior because I very famously neglects to take care of herself. Hence why she was like, hey, May, you drink first. Kind of thing. So I like that, again, May steps into that role of like being like, I take care of yourself. Okay, and then this part's really cute because I gets like bashful when May does this because feelings, right? Because first of all, May is taking care of her, which like I's not used to because she's used to being neglected, right? So she's, I think, surprised that May even thought of her, number one, because she's used to nobody thinking about her. Then number two, there's the gay reason because it's like, oh my God, May just put her lips on the water bottle, and if I put my lips on the water bottle, it's like we're kissing. Even though we've kissed before. And why do we always end up in sapphic shows where like the women forget they've already kissed each other and they're like, oh my God, we might kiss again. It's like, you've already
Because
kissed.
it's been forever, Theora.
I know,
it's like it hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened.
But also this gives I something to talk to Big Nung about because,
oh my God, Big Nung.
I mean, feeding each other was sex.
Right, that was porn. Right, fucking Big Nung. I love that dumbass too. All right, so then eventually I drinks the water and has to gay stare at May while she's doing that. So let's hydrate for that moment because I is hydrating while being really gay.
Yeah.
If that, we just have to. And just, it's cute and sad just to see how when I gets affection, she just doesn't know how to handle it. And that's basically the breakdown of this particular scene. So after they deliver the document, they end up at their last house to deliver food. And this is when Take Your Girlfriend to Work Day really pays off for I. So I delivers Thai food to V, a customer that she knows, who just came back from working in Korea and conveniently doesn't have any Thai money. She's like, here's some Korean money. And I's like, this is change. Because like, 1,000 Korean dollars doesn't equal a Thai baht. Like, you need to like give me actual money here. What the fuck? And I was like, just Venmo me, girl. It's fine. And then V's like, no, I can't do that because of reasons. And I has seen this scam before and doesn't like the ending. So she's like, girl, no, you gotta fucking pay me. So the customer's like, how dare you get off my property? And like tries to pivot into like, I'll call the police. And that's when May, the lawyer, whips out her phone. And then as they're arguing, May cuts in and she's like, let's go, And the customer doesn't think it's weird that she's calling her which I find weird, actually thinking about this because they know each other. No one thought that was weird, but okay, we're all committed to the bit. It's fine. And so I turns back and looks like really defeated. And she's like, May, like we can't, it's almost like May is saying give up. And then I's like, we can't give up. Like first of all, we know her instinct is fight, not flight in these situations. Because here's a bully trying to extort her for money, which I is really good at getting bullies trying to extort people for money, May, to stop extorting people for money. So she's like, what the fuck? No, we can't stop. But May has learned that, quote, fighting doesn't always mean yelling and throwing hands like I thinks it does. And May's like, don't worry, I, quote, recorded the conversation and now we can sue this woman for fraud. And then she's like, hand her this. And then I passes May's business card that says, I'm a fucking attorney. And damn, what a power move that was. And I love this moment. It's so great because as V is putting this together, this is real. And like, brought a lawyer to work today for some reason. May is just standing there in her aviators with her arms crossed, hovering over I's shoulder, okay? Like this guardian angel. And it's just so great because up till now, we've seen them both like fight their own battles. But this is the first time like they joined forces to fight a battle. And it's so epic when you think about it.
It is. I mean, watching this, I was like, you are a badass. But this is such a quick thought to have in this moment. Because, I mean, spoiler alert, later we find out she wasn't actually recording. But sorry, she wasn't really recording. But, like, just to even get your phone out that quickly and pretend like you are is insane. But something I noticed, especially in all the interactions with people, May has been going into lawyer mode. And it's like, meaning like she's a little more defensive when they're around the public. But once she's on the bike and alone with I, she's a lot more carefree. And it just shows that I is the reason why she can be carefree. Because when she goes out in public in general, she doesn't trust people. She's a lawyer. She's seen shit. And also she has to be defensive for herself because she doesn't have all her senses.
Yeah. No, that's a really, really good point. I love it. So because of this badassery, V manages to magically find some money, like under some couch cushions or whatever the fuck. And then I, who's like, oh shit, that worked, turns and the way she smiles at May at the end is so fucking cute. Because seriously, when was the last time anyone stood up for I? Ever. Like, I's been out here throwing hands since she was a kid with bullies by herself. And pretty successful. Like, when we get to the May and I flashback, she like fights off 4 kids by herself while drinking a smoothie. It was insane. But like, when was the last time anybody ever stood up for I? Like, come on now. So this was the fucking cutest. Like, May has the superhero moment. I's like, ooh, my knight in shining armor is a fucking lawyer. Like, damn.
They need each other. They're
It's
perfect
so
for each
cute.
other.
Oh,
This proves it.
It's so cute.
Part 1 is adorably cute, and I wish we could stay here forever. But we're going to take a break real quick to give some shout-outs to our Chaos Crew over on Patreon.
Woo! Yay!
Our Chaos Crew members on the Big Gay Ride or Die tier and above are Jill L, Michelle G, Amix, Bonzone _Multi, Leona, Natalia, Monet F, Moving Forward Leading, Cassie M, Danny, Here For It, Regina B, Jasmine O, and Nancy D.
Woo-hoo.
And our featured Big Gay supporter members for this episode are Alana N, C_C, and Lindsay N. Thank you so much for all of your support, and thank you to everyone, however you support us, whether it's you're on Patreon or you're just watching, listening on whatever platform you are, by joining our Discord and connecting with us further. We love having conversations with you. And just also connecting with each other, because that's also supporting us, because we love seeing how friendships are forming from the podcast too, and being able to create this community and safe space for people who love queer media. It brings smiles to our faces. So however you're doing that, thank you.
Yeah, if you're into all the new shows that are releasing, because we're in like the golden era of the summer of Thai Girl Love shows, go hang out in the Discord, because there's chatter every week as the new episode drops, so you can like gush about your favorite shows with people who also love it and make new friends, like Caitlin is saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we start part 2 off with May and I stopping to eat ice cream by a huge body of water. Will this be happy? Will this be sad? With them, you never know. And the same goes with this scene. So we start out pretty good, and May tells I that when you are blind, ice cream tastes better somehow, because every detail, besides what you see, becomes more important. And we'll come back to that in a few minutes, because details sure are important.
Yeah, this was like, sounds like bedroom talk to me. And she's like, just let you know, I.
Oh, yes.
I second with subtext though, so like May, you have to like be like spell that shit out, to be honest.
No, but May's gonna feel that subtext in a little bit.
Yeah, no, I don't know, pulls the ultimate chess move in this scene.
Yeah. I tells May that she thinks it's really just May, and starts swooning over how May casually showed off her card and it had nothing to do with her blindness. And like, saying that it had nothing to do with her blindness just makes May smile the biggest we have ever seen her smile in this show. Like, seriously, this is the biggest smile ever. Because I is giving her this compliment and reinforcing the fact that she is cool, not because of her blindness. Like, she is just that badassery of a badass.
Yeah, and when we get deeper into like the May I stuff, when it's revealed that like she knows this is I, and the reason she doesn't out the situation is because May doesn't know if I pities her because you'll see that in the scene, like, I has a big heart and, like, is very caretakey naturally, and so May's like, "Are you hanging around because I'm blind and need help or because you actually like me?" So this is a tick in the "I likes me for who I am" box, which is huge for May because that's the main thing she's trying to figure out here. So, check. And then on I's side of things, like, she was so touched over May's willingness to defend her that I think that what I is really saying by talking about, um, what I is really saying is that this ice cream, which ice cream is like a delicious thing that makes people happy, tastes even better because you're in my life, May. So it's like a poetic, metaphoric way of saying you, May, make me happier and make my life better. Which I's a poet, let's be honest. So like this was on brand, but it was really cute what she's saying. Because this is the day of I just being I, and this is who she is naturally, and she's naturally into you. She's gonna like give you compliments like naturally. Like that's a huge thing. Because this is new territory for I. So it's like her having these conversations with May seems very natural from I, which I think is huge, really. And I don't think I realizes what she's really doing. She's just being herself, which is what I love about their relationship and how it was depicted on screen, because it comes off as very just natural when they're together. Like it's just they just have that chemistry together that's just natural.
Yeah, they don't have to change who they are because they actually want who they are. They're trying to peel back the layers of who they're pretending to be.
Right. No, exactly. Like the irony that they're have these facades, but at the core, like they connect with each other. Yeah, that's a really good point. And also, like, this is another instance of I calling May cool. So, like, again, glasses from high school would never have gotten this compliment. So, glow up May strikes again. And she's like, I think I'm cool. Oh my God. What an ego boost.
Then we get real. And this is a part that like really makes me respect I explains that V was working illegally in Korea and was arrested and deported a few days ago, and she might not have been lying about having money. But May makes a great point that is no excuse to scam someone. And I agrees, because like obviously you should not be scamming people. But says it's why she's asking May to let her off the hook and not to do anything with this video. And for she didn't grow up with money the way that May did. And she knows that people will do what they need to do to survive. Like, if V had the money, she wouldn't be trying to scam I. And she also knows that something like this, doing something with this video, could have caused V like not to get back on her feet. Like it could ruin her even more, causing her to spiral and do even more just to be able to survive. And May calls I soft-hearted. I mean, she definitely is, and it's very sweet. But and like I is 1,000% the type of person to put others before herself, especially her family. Just no doubt about that.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time May is seeing that. Like, we know that about I because we've got flashbacks as she's writing the journal of just like all the time she's like doing exactly what you said. But I think this is for May's first glimpse into who I really is and how kind-hearted I actually is. Like, yes, what she's seen up to this point is I be the knight in shining armor who's always willing to like step in when there's danger and be helpful. Like she's always defending people against bullies, even herself. But I don't think May knew truly how kind I really is, because here I is asking May not to fully defend her by pressing charges against V, so that somebody else can go about their life in peace. Like that's a self-sacrifice for another person that I don't think May has seen I really do. Like we've seen it. We've seen her sacrifice for hence this ridiculous shit she's in right now. We've seen her sacrifice for Meemaw, but May is seeing this part of I. Like this is at the core who I really is. She's the self-sacrificing person, and she's willing to self-sacrifice for V, like a person she's not even super close with. She's just, like you said, empathizes with. And I think that's huge for May to see I at her core. Like, this is a very vulnerable I moment of just, this is who I really is. And she's like, wow, I like this part of you, you know?
It's easy to forget what like other characters actually know about the person when you're seeing everything.
Yeah.
So that's really great to bring up. But May then says, "So my cool move was all for nothing." Which, first of all, I wanted to bring up, like, that is exactly what a smooth move is with bringing out the phone and the card. Like, yes, that's what a smooth move is. But
Yeah.
I do love this line from May because, um, it definitely wasn't all for nothing, May, because the cool move already did its job, which it gave I her money so she wouldn't be scammed.
Practically it worked, but May was like, was my flirting lost on you? And it wasn't, because May could not see the giant smile on I's face, first of all. And like, cause I was like swooning openly. And here she is now being like, May, that was so cool. Like, she's swooning. So like, it worked as grade A flirting material. May, don't worry. Your Top Gun move there, all of it worked. You're good. You're good. But this is her being cheeky, which is, again, she's happy and having fun and making jokes, which is says a lot about how comfortable May is right now. It's cute.
Yes. And then she admits that she didn't actually record anything, because who could act that fast?
Seriously.
Which is a really cool move in itself. But like, seriously, the fastness that you got that phone out, though, and perfectly did
She aimed it.
line that up.
Yeah.
And yeah, you aimed it
Aimed
towards her. Which, again, still amazing that you're able to do that. But like, again, I'm still hung up on the, like, she lies so easily. And it's so terrifying to know what she'd be capable of. Because if we did not know at this point that she had nothing to do with this accident, I would be on the May as the murderer train right now.
Listen, yeah. Because I mean, the reason she did what she did so quickly is because she is a lawyer, and she was like, she recognized this, you know, this person was being scammed, and she's making all these claims, and she's like, I could sue this bitch for and like take her house and shit. So she's like, I would just need evidence. And she's like, I don't got time for this. I'll make it look like I have it. So she was in her attorney mode where she's like, I'm going to say all kinds of shit just to scare you because I can. And like, she did what she had to do. And she was like, none of it's real. It's being a lawyer. That was her in her work mode, right? Because I's in her work mode as the DoorDash driver being like, give me my money, bitch. And then May's like, I will sue your ass. Like, they were both at their work, you know?
That's true. God, Lawyer May, man. She might even be more terrifying.
I agree. She is fucking terrifying, like you said, because, like, what isn't she capable of? She's so capable of so many things. And like I said, it has nothing to do with being blind or disabled. Like, you're just a very capable person, period.
Very calculated.
Absolutely. She's very strategic.
Terrifying.
She's strategic, which is how we get to the end of part 2, where she, you know, because she needs to go strategize, like.
Yeah. But back to this conversation.
Yes.
I's like, I knew it. And then she's like, you know what's cooler? And as she's saying this, I starts to rub her chest. She says, God. My heart almost burst out of my chest when I realized you were protecting me. And like, this is the cutest thing ever, because it's all she really wants is to be protected and loved. Like, she wants someone to care for her as much as she cares for them, because she does show how much, and like we see later how much she does for other people that we don't even know at this point. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she's been chasing this feeling her whole life.
And here it is. And that's what's going to make it so hard to walk away from May. It's because she has the thing and the feeling she's always wanted. Like, here it is. And look at her reaction to it. It's so cute and sad because she's never had it, and like for so many years. Also, when they're having this conversation where an I's doing the holding her chest thing, give whoever composed this shot an award, because the way they like used their scenery to make this particular shot so beautiful, because you're doing rule of thirds, right? Where you got May and I sitting like on the right side of the frame in the third spot. which is visually pleasing. And then they used the construction of whatever this like little raised concrete wall is, the way it naturally, like, it's like kind of like a diagonal line where they're sitting and then it curves. And then you have like the kind of like fencing and bridges in the background, and just the way so what you're gonna do when you look at that is your eye is naturally gonna follow lines. So naturally, the way they compose this, your eye goes from like, it follows the lines of May and I, and then it follows the lines of the barrier they're sitting on all the way around the frame. Then from there, your eye's gonna travel along the railing. It's beautiful the way they did this shot. Like your eye just goes all over this frame naturally because of all the lines. So shout out to whoever composed this. Like I studied photography in high school, and like this is so visually pleasing to me because I'm like, your eye just follows everything and you look at the whole frame without realizing it in like a sequence. It's beautiful. Well done, whoever did this. Love it.
Yeah, the DP definitely knows what they're doing in the show.
Yes, in the show. They do a lot of things. Like I pointed out in episode 1, I think, like the balcony, when May's coming down the stairs, the way your eyes are your eye is going to follow eye to the balcony. Like, because there's a bunch of lines naturally in the frame that guide you as the viewer in a sequence, which tells a story. So like the way, the DP, whoever did this, great job. They really take advantage of their sets to guide your eye, not I, the character, but your vision throughout the composition so that you're following the story without realizing that's what you're doing when you're looking at this by the way they position everything. It's so good. Like, thank you. I love it. Okay, but can we go back to the line where I's like, I knew you were lying. Like, did you know she was lying, I? Because if you did, then you would have realized right now how good at lying May is. Go back and watch that scene. I don't think I knew she was lying. Like, she was just like, May, what are you doing? What the?
Also, you wouldn't have told her not to do anything with the video. Like, we would not be here right now. You would have made a joke later being like, yeah, you didn't film that, right?
Girl, she did not know that. She's such a liar. A bad one. Anyway, I just had to point that out. She's a whole ass lie in that scene.
So May says, when someone protects you, you want to protect them too. And first of all, what a great line. But this makes I's brain short circuit because her brain is replacing the word protect with love. So May just told her that she loves her too.
Yeah, I mean, this whole scene, I acts like this is a huge love confession because it kind of is. It's her version of a love confession. And what I love from when May is saying this, like, you can literally see the light bulb go off in her head. Like, well done, Damn Tam. Like, you see it click, like the way she acts out the scene. It's so good. And honestly, again, I'll keep saying this over and over again. It's so sad how happy she is over being in a relationship with equality in it. Like, that's kind of what this boils down to, and it's so sad because she's been trapped in these one-sided relationships, or at least they feel like it to her, for so long that she's like, oh my god, somebody who reciprocates the way I feel, fireworks. You know what I mean? Like, that's so sad.
Yeah.
When you think
and
about
like, for people listening, Theora's not even just talking about romantic relationships.
No, I'm not.
It's all relationships that she's ever had. Because we even see it with her friends. Like, I mean, yeah, they care, but, like, it's not the same way that I mean, they are ride or dies, but, like, she would do anything and, like, uplift everybody. Oh, God, I love you, I. Anyway.
I love you, I. So, okay, but then the other thing I really love about this line from May, where when somebody protects you, you want to protect them back. This is a full circle line, and this is one of those lines where I does not grasp the full meaning of what May is saying because I does not know their origin story, okay? What I doesn't know is that, quote, someone did protect May when they were kids, and then May is returning the favor now, really. It's one of those that, like, that is long-term thinking for May. Like, May was so touched by I protecting her when they were kids. I wonder if, like, her motivation for a really long time when they were separated was like, oh, someday I want to reciprocate that and be capable of, like, protecting her if we are ever back in this situation. Because, like, how did she protect her? She protected her by being a lawyer. And really, like, I was the one who kind of, like, sent her down the path of being a lawyer without realizing it, like when they were young. And she was like, figure out a way to defend yourself. And like, that's how May does it. And like, here she is, like paying it forward years later with the skill that like I kind of like, without realizing it, encouraged her to do. So I love how it's more than just a line. This is really a full circle moment for May. And it's just like, when you go back and have the context of everything and rewatch the show, you're like, May had so many like full circle moments with these lines that I doesn't fully grasp what May is really saying. Just it's like the surface level read, not the, this was years in the making, this moment for May. And like, damn, did she look cool while doing it? You know, like she's been waiting for this for years.
And she got her cool moment.
So fucking cool. Like, damn, May. Like, you really overachieved, I would say, in the best way possible.
And boy, is I in love with all of it. And with that love in her head, her eyes gaze towards May's hands. And her hand is covered in melting ice cream, which brings us to I going fully in on licking the melting ice cream off of May's hand. As you do.
Bold.
Like, no hesitation.
So
There's
bold.
no hesitation. With
No.
someone who hesitates when doing new things. She had no hesitation. And like, the only thing that slows us down is the fact that we had to watch it twice.
Of course.
Because gay things are happening. So twice is, you have to.
You have to. It's a long
Not upset
pilot.
about it.
No.
But it was the ridiculousness that we have had to watch it twice of her doing this ridiculousness is hilarious.
Amazing.
And May is like, what the heck is happening? On the outside, at least. Because let's go back to what she said about ice cream, where like the details are better because you can't see. So now, I's brain is being overwhelmed. No, May's brain is being overwhelmed by the feeling of I's tongue on her hand and licking her.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep, May. What a visual.
Things I'm sure she's also imagined over the years.
Yes.
And definitely over the past however long they have.
Week? I don't even know how long this has been.
I don't know. I was about to say a few weeks, but I'm like, has it been that long? I don't know.
Baby?
And if she didn't know that she was gay for I, she sure does now.
Who wouldn't be gay for I in this scene?
But this is like one of the boldest things that I has ever done.
Period.
And definitely a no thoughts, just gay moment for her. Because,
oh my God,
what was that?
I still can't believe she was bold enough to do this right now. But I guess it speaks to like what she's feeling and how the fact that May just reciprocated this huge thing of like looking out for her. That's how emboldened she is by just May protecting her, basically. That's how much it really meant to I, was that she felt bold enough to do this. Granted, they've kissed before.
We forget about that.
Right? But like, this is I doing it, okay? This is I, okay? I made the first move.
They're both being themselves here.
Yes, I'll get into that. But first, can we talk about May's face journey during this scene? Because there is none, which I think is interesting, okay? Because she was 1,000,000% not expecting I to do this. Nobody was expecting I to do this. I don't even think I was expecting I to do this. I just did it. So let's think about this whole day from May's point of view. First of all, I calls her girlfriend out in public. Wasn't expecting that. And then is doing public displays of affection. Like, what the hell? You know, like, and so when I does this move, May is absolutely, she freezes. And we get like multiple angles of like May being frozen and I's looking at her because she's trying to gauge the reaction from this. There is no reaction. There's just internal gay panic. Like, her face is frozen. She doesn't say anything. Foley team. Now would have been an amazing time to get that heartbeat noise, you know, so we know what's going on. Nothing. There's nothing, okay? Now, the only kiss they've ever had, or anything involving lips, really, has been when May made the first move, when they first, quote, met again. And they have done nothing close to that since. Like, all they've had up to this point is, like, verbal flirting and premarital hand-holding. That's all that they've been doing, really. So, sure, we had the scene where May was, like, suggesting sexy times, and I's like, I want an omelet. But even then, there was no kissing happening, okay? It was verbal flirting, mostly. So I think May is just stunned at the whole day, including this. And then here's I, like I said, making the first move, which I has not really done. I is the woman who runs away to get things in her car when she's scared, you know? And I think that this moment is a realization moment for May that she can't fully predict what I is going to do. Because like you said, I is being herself in this scene. So is May. And that's like oh, I can't actually predict you. May, the strategist, who's always 10 moves ahead of everybody. She was not expecting this, okay? So, that can be fun for somebody who's an intellectual. We talked about this. Well, we will when you eventually get our friendly rivalry episode. Like Jay and Sulgi, the attraction there started with you can outsmart me and I'm an intellect. And I think for May, like that's exciting on some level. If they didn't have all this Shadow of shit going on, you know, that's also now it's terrifying to be like, oh fuck, like she can outmaneuver me and like I'm trying to keep this fragile thing together. So exciting and terrifying. Those are feelings May is having. But the big thing here is that I is being honest about her feelings in this scene. And right preceding this, she was expressing how she feels about May, like by telling her she's cool and it meant a lot to her and all that stuff. Verbally said all these things, and now she's physically showing May how she feels. That's a huge, huge deal for somebody like I, okay? And to me, the way this is shot, again, call back to whoever shot this, the shot says a lot about how we get this ice cream scene. Because where are they? They're sitting under a bridge, okay, because it's hot as fuck, and they're in the shade because hot, Thailand. But the way it's shot is really revealing of like what's happening in this scene. So we have May, who's mostly in the shadows, okay, because May is like the loner, right? If you really think about it. And then up at the top of the frame, they have this little solar flare going on from the light. It's positioned between May and I. And then you have I leaning in from the side of the frame that's more lit into the darkness where May is, like under the solar flare. So it's almost like poetically saying that I is the light moving towards A. She's the beam of sunshine that brightens May's life, which I think is how this whole fucking story started. That is what I is. She's the beam of light in the darkness that was May's life for so long. And here it is being recreated again when they're adults. Like this is the pinnacle of what May has wanted for a really long period of time. And only when I pulls away do we get the absolute gay panic on May's face. Other than that, there's been no expressions, okay? It's just there's gay panic of like, did that really just happen to me?
I mean, first, again, what was that? But like, yeah, that was a lot. Lots of details going on there too.
Yeah. It was a well-crafted scene and so beautiful. And I love it. I love the imagery. This location was great. Whoever picked it, it was so beautiful for this. I loved it so much.
The locations in this show.
So good.
If you know all the locations where they filmed, please let us know. I am making a list.
We would like to visit them. This one I like in particular. This particular location is really nice.
The only one I'm confident about is the planetarium. I have no addresses for anything else. Anyway, that is your job. But May is still locked in her gay thoughts while I pulls away and makes the weirdest excuse for doing this, which is your ice cream is melting. I'm protecting your hand from it.
So cute. This is I flirting.
And I's mouth was definitely the better decision than just using a napkin.
I don't think they had a napkin is the thing.
I don't think they did.
So.
But yeah. I guess a shirt maybe, but this way you're not getting your clothes dirty and you're being gay, so good job.
Right. I was just saving the environment. Why use a napkin when she could use her mouth? Like, why would you? That's wasting ice cream, Caitlin. That's insane.
That's true. You know?
Save the planet.
Yeah.
Be gay.
But May's like, it's more like an excuse to steal her ice cream, and she won't let her get away with it. And I'm like, oh no, May, you should steal it back from I's mouth. Quick, go get it.
Right, I was expecting her to kiss I, not do this.
Yeah, instead she steals some of I's actual ice cream, leaving I to wish that her ice cream was actually her mouth. because where else? Again, did you not, when you're watching this, think that she was talking about her mouth?
I mean, yeah, they were definitely talking. This is a coded conversation. This whole thing read to me as like family friendly subtext flirting. Like if GMFTV reads to me like more of a family friendly type of network, this read as like they're kissing through the ice cream kind of thing. But anyway, I really love it. I don't care. I'm into it. I love the way May executes the ice cream thing. It's really cute. So she takes, because it's obviously slower because May can't see what the fuck's happening. So she like grabs Ai's arm like really slowly and then moves the ice cream that Ai's holding towards her face. So really, I easily could have stopped this if she wanted to, but she doesn't. And while this is happening, while May's executing the move, Your Story, the OST, starts playing in the background. This is the first time we hear this song. And this song is really, really important, and we now need a history lesson of Your Story and how it fits with Pluto in general. So let's go back to the Ciao Pluto universe, which is the novels, okay? So Your Story is actually really important to Ai and May because the two of them bond over their favorite musician who wrote a song called Your Story. Do you know who wrote Your Story?
Should I?
It was Playing from Affair. So this is how the novels are connected.
Oh.
Yeah. So Ai and May in Pluto the novel both love Playing, the musician, and Playing wrote Your Story. That's the song she writes for Juan Viva in Affair, and it becomes this huge song. That's what blows up her career. Like, that's the song Juan waited 13 years to hear. It's called Your Story.
Damn.
Okay. And so the way that, spoiler, in the novel, May and Ai get reunited through Playing's concert where she's playing this song. So this song is actually huge to Ai and May's story in the novel, and it's really huge to Playing and Juan Viva's story in Affair, okay? So it connects the novels. So when I recognize that this is the name of the song, I'm like, that's bold of GMMTV to make Your Story, because it's actually Playing's song. There's a chapter in Pluto called Your Story where I have to just read it, where basically the song is playing in the background and Ai's hanging out with Pang, okay? And she says, hey, I like this song. I tell Pang, who's about to change the song on her phone. Okay. She gives me a little glare. If you like it, open it yourself. I'm leaving. What's the name of the song? Your song. Who's the singer? Blah, blah, blah. We get the singer situation. And then she's saying, Pang's like, are you working on your novel? You're taking it so seriously. Ai says, of course, I'm very determined. I've written 5 pages in an hour. I followed your advice. I'm the female lead, and I'm flirting with the other female lead. Pang says, good. You'll be emotionally involved now. Ai says, listening to the song you just played also makes me more involved. I'm in love. I exaggerated the display of my shyness, thinking that I'm flirting with the character in the novel, whom I imagine is May. My heart is pounding, she says to Pang. So your song not only is important to reunite May later on, it's like part of what inspires Ai's novel, the first one that she writes. And also, how gay is it? Where she's like, I had to, in order to like make it sound better, I had to like pretend that me and May are the characters and we're dating each other. It's so gay.
That's so ridiculous.
It's so cute.
Oh, I love you. Book form and TV form.
Yeah, and like in this part of the novel, this was after she confesses her feelings to May, so it kind of fits with this scene too, where basically Ai is kind of confessing in a way to May, the way she feels. And she'll do it later on also in part 2, where this song is also playing in the background. Okay, and then let's talk about the actual OST they put in the show, because I think this is important. Not only does it link the Child Planoy stories, like I said, I think it's important to distinguish how GMMTV did it. So this song is only sung by Namtam. That's it. Film does not show up. This is a solo, okay? So really, in the show, it's Ai's song to May, basically. And like I said, in the first draft of the novel, basically she's like pretending she's the protagonist and that May is like the love interest, right? And my heart is pounding. So like, I think that's why like this song that links it is like I's love song to May, basically, because like it does impact I and like how she feels about May and things like that. So I thought it was a really clever way to like for GMOTV to do this, because I was like, wait, that's playing a song. Then I was like, oh shit, they went a totally different route with this, and I love it.
Great job, GMOTV. We can always count on you. Thank you for sharing all that. It's very interesting to know like what's changing between the novel and the show and how the show.
Wait till we get to the actual novel. We'll get there later. Don't worry.
Okay. I have a feeling it has something to do with Satan. Anyway. Then we get I's journal entry where she says, "The sunlight warms the day, lifting the world from dismay. All doubts are put to flight when love blooms so pretty inside." She's not capable of writing in like simple terms. Like it's always poetic. So this is I's poetic brain explaining how May lifts her up from her sorrow and makes her world so bright that she can't help but fall in love with her, which is what Theora explained when you were describing the shot of them, of I licking the ice cream.
Yeah.
So they do a great job. Production, great job.
They do. And also this is basically, so think about it. I get super poetic and we get these journal entries when she's having really big feelings about May. So the big feeling, she go home and writes it in her journal, how she felt. This is also I basically saying, fuck the reality of our situation. Like, because like it's fucked up and messy and shit and was making her sad. And she's like, how could I think about any of that when I have this beautiful, wonderful person in front of me? Like, that I'm falling in love with. That's another way of I basically disassociating herself from their reality of like the shadow stuff and being like, yeah, it's okay for me to be happy also.
And this journal entry voiceover is happening as she goes to eat her ice cream at the same time as
so cute,
as May is eating her ice cream. And it makes May chuckle. And it's just very cute to see again, like she's smiling so big. And basically they're kissing now.
Yes.
So gay. Not that they haven't already kissed again when they first technically met.
Like, okay, but I also love that I does the obligatory I must put my forehead against yours thing, because all fictional queer women must do this at least once or they're not fictional queer women. And to me, like that little gesture makes this more intimate, the way she's doing this. Because it's like her way of like getting as close to May as physically possible, like while they're sharing this little moment. And I just love how happy they are. And the way if you watch she's mostly staring at May while they're doing this. It's like, it's almost like on some level is like afraid this isn't real, or she's just trying to like savor every single thing about this moment, like the way she feels, like, you know, and then like what she sees. Like, it's almost like this is a dream and she's afraid she's going to wake up from it, the way she's just like staring at May, you know what I mean, with like wonder.
Yeah, because I mean, unfortunately for her, like good things don't stay good too long.
Yeah, I mean, again, the shadow of is constantly here, but yeah, it's just I is so fucking cute in this thing. And like May is so happy because like finally, you know, she's been waiting for years to get here.
Yeah, speaking of a dream that she's going to wake up from, that's enough good times for now because, I mean, said no one ever. Like, we want to stay here forever.
Obviously.
But Kasol chooses this moment to drive up to them very loudly, which triggers May's PTSD. And we are given this flashback of someone loudly revving their bike while May is in the car trying to call for help. And then we get quick glimpses of her windows being smashed and her running while someone is chasing after her on the bike. And I would be very more surprised and more concerned if this did not give her PTSD, because
God, seriously,
this is a lot.
Ooh, it is a lot. Yeah, terrifying experience for May, first of all. So like May has a dark past, which we're learning slowly. And the other thing that I thought was revealing from this scene is that when she's in the car calling for help, she screams, "Help me, So like whatever this was, if you didn't know anything and just watching this for the first time, knew about whatever this was. So that's also revealing, because like again, we still don't know the full story of May and but like Because remember, their story is like they had a fight, they broke up, she became blind. She obviously has her vision here because she's like running in heels. Can't do that while you're blind. What did know? Like, so that was my question when I first watched this. I'm like, why is she calling What does know about this? Fucking in her damn coma. Like,
yeah. Could you imagine if wasn't in a coma, though? Like, how this story would change? Like, what would...
I mean, it would very quickly be like, this is I, not now kiss each other. We wouldn't have all of this. But we still would have to deal with, like, Kasol and, like, all of his other shit that apparently never came to light while, was conscious. So there's that, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, but I doesn't know about this post-traumatic event that's happening to May. So she's just in the background running her hand through her hair, and it's like she's thinking, gosh darn it, he picked now, this moment, to interrupt.
He didn't even know I was here. What the hell?
Seriously, that seemed very convenient that he rides right up to them.
Right.
But she realizes that something's wrong when May drops her ice cream. Because right now, the ice creams are metaphorically their love for each other, because it's been a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also ice cream. And something has to be wrong for you to drop it.
Agreed. Also, can we quickly talk about what a nightmare it was to shoot in Thailand with ice cream? Because as this conversation goes on, okay, so May drops her ice cream, then I's the only one holding it. If you watch Namtam hold the ice cream, because this ice cream is melting so badly during this conversation with Kasol that it's like running in a river, and the way she has to hold it so it's not getting on her. Like, I feel so bad for her in the scene. And if you get to the very end, you'll see like it gets on her jeans and stuff. Like, that must have been so messy, and she must have been so sticky, because I think they were using actual ice cream because you just watch it melt.
Yeah, probably to get, because like they could have used fake ice cream and then also like just put like dripping ice cream on her hand, but
this is like, watch it. It's running off of the way she's holding it. Like,
they probably just use multiple ice creams.
Poor Namdale. Like, the way she's like trying not to get it on herself while acting. Like, good job, man. But like, I felt so bad for her. I'm like, that must be so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least they didn't have to eat weird ice cream that's like made to look like ice cream, but is really
I get the sense this was actually ice cream, just based on this part of the scene.
Yeah. So as I's trying to figure out what is going on while May is still in panic mode, Kasol takes his helmet off, saying, "When did you get back to work?" Okay, so now Kasol's coming in. And he doesn't know anything that is happening, what's going on right now.
No, literally nothing.
He knows the least. Well, yeah, he knows the least in this moment.
Well, he recognizes May's face, which is obvious if you're watching. Well,
yeah.
He's like, what is happening?
Know. May still knows the most.
Yes.
Between I and Kasol, like, they know half of what May knows.
Yes, they know half of the story, exactly.
So there's a lot for I to navigate, because she doesn't know what's happening with May. And now Kasol might be blowing her cover. That's been blown many times.
Oh my god, seriously.
But she doesn't know that.
She's trying to preserve her date with May, where she gets to be May's girlfriend. That's what she's trying to preserve.
But also, Kasol's now a deer in headlights, because he never expected to be face-to-face with May again. Yeah. And now May is with I.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, why are you guys together? But then it gets worse, though. And like, in hindsight, though, if you watch this actor, he's a good reactionary actor. He does a really good job. Like, his reactions totally give away that he knows who May is. Like, if you really watch him, and when they start talking about he's like, oh, like, he clearly knew none of this shit. Like, he just recognizes May and is like, what you doing, I?
That's true, because they didn't even get into her saying, like, trying to correct him.
No, because keep going, because like his responses are like, what?
Yeah, so like I's right now focused on Kasol not blowing the cover. So she's like, yes, it is. Boom. To which he, of course, questions this, very confused. And then tries to figure stuff out without saying too much and motions to ask if May is blind. Like, the way he does it is just very, like, if she could see, it'd be like, what the hell are you doing?
I mean, if she could see, this scene would have gone very differently.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
but he's like,
Okay.
boom.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? What are you on right now? And then I drops the bomb that this is her girlfriend. And seriously, I would love Casol's inner monologue here, because he has to be very confused trying to figure things out. Like, what is going on? Why is she saying that she's right now?
There's that layer to it. He's like, why is I pretending to be But then he's also like, this was Oom's girlfriend. He clearly didn't know that piece. Like, he knows who May is, but he's like, he didn't know she was involved with That's new information to him in this scene where he's like, what? Like, he probably thought he'd never see this person ever again. And then it's like, oh no, like, here she is coming back in our orbit. And he didn't know that she was connected to Like, he didn't know that part. That's clear in the scene where he's like, oh, fuck, Oom's girlfriend. Like, he didn't know that.
I feel like there would definitely been more hesitation if it was, because, like, if Oom's involved, that means it will impact I in a way. So.
And he knows also, we'll come to find out later. Like, he's closer to I, but, like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so while Casol is still confused, May asks I who she's talking to, which makes I hesitate. Which, hesitating is the first sign of lying. But in her case, she doesn't really lie, because she does tell May that he was her childhood friend.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so from I's point of view, she is like, oh, fuck, like, my ex showed up. That's basically the way she's at. She's right now. She's like, I'm on a date with May, like, actually dating May, and then my ex shows up. And, like, from her point of view, she doesn't know why May is being really weird. Because if you watch May is, like, clearly terrified and, like, clinging onto I in this scene. And I think I is like, does she know we used to? She doesn't want to tell her this is my ex. Like, that's what she's trying to avoid saying that. So she's like, yeah, this is like a childhood friend. Like, it's cool. Like, we know each other. And then eventually she has to, like, out this information. And that's when May, like, pulls away. Because I was like, fuck, like, she's gonna think I have feelings for other people. You know what I mean? I think that's where I's head's at. But, like, May misses the layer of where Casol and May are at, where they're like, oh, fuck, the blind incident. Like, they're, like, somewhere else. And I, who knows the least, is like, she's gonna be jealous of my ex. Nobody's thinking that. Nobody else is thinking that in this scene, just I.
Yeah, and
I knows the least, once again.
Hashtag I knows the least.
I knows the least in this conversation. Like, they're like, she's having a conversation with them, and those two are having a different conversation, and I does not understand that. That's what's happening here.
Yeah, and because, like, May asks I if she ever told him anything about her. And in I's point of view, she's asking, because, like, Casol sounds very weird, like, asking her questions right now as well. But really, like, May's also trying to figure out the situation right now.
Yeah, well, because, like, okay, I think she's trying to figure out, like, did know this? Because remember, she called during that incident with him. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, fuck, did know him? And because, like, never mentioned this guy. So I think she's also asking, like, did your, because, like, I's pretending to be right now. She's like, did you, does know this guy? I think that's what she's actually trying to ask I. And then I's like, fuck, and I have to tell her that like, they're having different conversations in this scene, which is funny in hindsight.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Then she has to figure out, all right, so whose ex is he?
Well, she doesn't know about the ex part yet, because I didn't say that, but, like, she's like, how is this person connected to Because he kind of seems to know right, a little bit, and May can't see the faces, can't figure it out, and she's like, who is he connected to? Is he connected to I, both? She didn't know that they were connected like this, and that's freaking her out right now. But she can't, and, like, the sweet irony of, like, this line where she says, have you ever told your friend anything about me? Is that I is the one who told Casol to pay back the lawyer for what happened in Ben's case. So, like, I did tell Casol about May in a roundabout way, and that's what, like, led to the incident we just saw in the flashbacks. So she did tell him something. I doesn't realize it, though.
Yeah,
because
Castell's about to be like, she told,
She did.
I cuts him off saying, I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, Castell just said, she told. But anyway, she
like,
says,
hold on real quick. But the thing is, like,
okay.
I doesn't know any of this shit that's happening. All I know is that she's not actually and she doesn't know what told May. So she's like, fuck, how do I answer this question? So she answers it as because she's like, fuck, I don't know. Like, I don't fucking know what said.
Yeah, so she finally says, I didn't because he is my ex.
Right. She's like, fine, I don't want you to be jealous. Like, literally nobody is thinking this. That's why it's so funny in hindsight.
And this makes May release her hold she had on Aya's arm, and she crosses her arms, which is closing herself off from the situation and from Ai. And she's she's having trouble figuring out what she can trust, which again isn't usual for her because she always has the upper hand. She's in control, and now this whole day, she really hasn't been in control because I is being I, and she's realizing she doesn't know I's life. Like, she does know I, like, they've been spending time together, but she doesn't know her life, which is a big thing.
But here's the thing, she trusts I. So one thing I noticed going back and watching this is when they leave the house and they go on the motorcycle ride, May does not bring her walking stick. Because she did it last time when they went on the bus ride and this and that. So, like, she fully put all of her trust into I today when they went on this outing. And like I mentioned earlier, I is capable of surprising May in good ways. Hence the ice cream thing. Hence the, like, she's my girlfriend to somebody who knows me. Like, I can throw her off guard in a good and exciting way, but then I can also throw her off guard in a very bad way, which is this situation that we're in right now. So that's a double-edged sword, right? The being able to be surprised by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this moment, I think May is, anyway, hold on, go back to I. So this, let's start with I. So this is a blurred line in the sands moment for I, right? Where she's pretending to be for May, but then tells May all these truths about herself. Like right now, she's like, he's my ex. Okay, so then May's like, oh, yours or And she can't ask that, okay? But all she knows is this man might be connected to why she went blind. She's like, well, fuck, like that's really bad for me. And you can tell that May feels very unsafe in this moment, hence the like, she let go of I, because she's like, shit, she's scared, right? Poor Gasol, look at him. He has no fucking idea what the hell is going on. But I love that he just rolls with whatever I is saying. He's like, this is all crazy, but okay, I will just go with it.
At the end of the day, he is a ride or die.
Right, he's a ride or die. He's like, I guess, you're in charge. And then I looks really disappointed when May lets go of her. Because, like, let's be real, they've been physically touching all day. And this is probably the first time in a while that May's, like, let go of her. And is distancing herself for I. And you can see how that bothers I at this point. Okay, but May is smart, and she's starting to put together that, like, maybe I, not was close to this guy that attacked her, or maybe it was and she feels like she's in danger, in a type of dangerous situation that I can't save her from, because I doesn't know the obvious. I's like, I'm worried she's gonna be jealous, and that's not what's happening here. May feels like she's in danger, that the person that attacked her is right in front of her, right? So May is doing what she can to save herself, right? So what is she doing by closing herself off, by crossing her arms? All her, like, castle walls are going back into place, right? Where she's, like, got to put her emotional armor all the way back up in this scene to protect herself. And then she asks she's like, take me home. Take me to my actual castle, right? With the gates in it. Like, she feels really unsafe in this moment and, like, cannot explain why to either of these people. So it's like she's back to being alone, which is so sad.
It is really sad.
Yeah.
And, like, in the screenshot you have, like, there's this, like, split in the screen, too, where I and Casol are on one side and May is now on the other.
Good job, DP. There's, like, again, those natural lines. There's a pole in the background that's physically dividing them. This was a great location.
And they knew it, and they used it.
Give them an award. Did they win any awards for Pluto? Because they should. This was so well done.
Seriously, they, like,
brilliant.
We're not even like the actors. Like, the actors, yes, of course.
Yeah,
but, like,
not
the
even
production people.
Yeah, they're great. I'm talking about, like, the production team and the way they, like, did Pluto. It's so good. All of GMMTV shows are so good. Watching Whale Store now, they keep upping their game with each show. Girl Rules is gonna break barriers we didn't even know existed.
Our brain is gonna melt watching
I'm
that
so
show.
happy when we finally get
Uh,
that anyway.
yeah, that is will be for another very happy day.
Oh my god, so happy.
Okay, so from here, they drive back to May's. And this time, I reaches for May's hand to wrap around her because May's arms weren't around her. Like, this is not the
Danger!
happy, bubbly feeling from earlier.
No.
And she doesn't reach for May's hand to make sure that May stays safe. But it could be part of the reason since, like, May seems very out of it,
On a
and she just have, like,
motorcycle.
no idea. Like, one wrong move, like, she could go toppling.
I'm saying.
But it's also so that I could feel her there and still have that attachment to May since she's so worried that because May is pulling away from her right now and she feels that. So this is just her trying to pull her back and hang on to what they had earlier in the day too. Because again, they were happy. And like poor I, her fear is confirmed when they get off the bikes and I goes to help May, but is met with May with her arms crossed again. So like she's closed herself off from being open to I, and she tells I that she should go. And May asks the maid for help to guide her inside instead. Which I mean, again, like she doesn't have the walking stick, so like she needs the maid to help her go in there, like get to the house. I'm assuming, but this is the first time like we're seeing her ask for help at her own place because she's so caught off guard that she's not even trusting herself to be able to get around a place that she knows so well. Because all she need to do is like move forward, get to feel the edge of the gate, and like she's really and capable in her own place. It's just so sad.
Yeah, I think this is just speaking to how unsafe she feels. Because this situation is super shitty. Not just for May, for I too. Like, think about I fully does not understand what is happening right now. Like, I think in I's inner monologue, she's like, fuck, May ran into my ex, and now she's upset, and like, damn, if I was better at being this wouldn't have happened, and like, she's jealous, and all this shit, and like, fuck, I finally had somebody I liked, and now I'm losing them. And then May, who's having this, I was like, I was attacked by somebody. It might have been that guy who might know I don't know. May cannot confide in I over this revelation that she just had, which really sucks because she spent all day being honest with I. Like her parents came in and were shitty and she was honest about it and like was able to unburden herself. But she can't unburden herself in this situation because like she might be in danger. So like it's really shitty, you know? And so I think she's just like, I just need to go back in my castle by myself. And she says to I, like, I need to rest. And I think that's code for, like, I need to regroup and strategize what the fuck just happened. Because I didn't see this coming, like, literally and figuratively, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I doesn't leave like she was told to. And maybe the maid does take pity on her because she apparently did not tell May that she was there either, which is weird.
I don't
Because
get
she's
this.
in her bedroom.
I don't get this at all. Like, yeah, clearly the maid is May's ride or die. Like we've said many times, and May does not acknowledge that, which is her downfall. But I don't understand how I ended up in the bedroom, to be honest with you, because like May told her to leave, and I is really good at being like, okay, I respect May's wishes.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out how we got here.
Me too.
I was very confused.
I'm confused every single fucking time. Unless like, okay, so when it pans in, because like I love the way they shot this too. Like May comes into the room and then it like follows May until you get to I sitting on the bed. I look so distressed. Like she's all in shadows and she looks sick. Like, you know, like sick with worry. So I wonder if she was just so worried that she's like, we need to fucking talk before I lose her. And I think she was desperate and that's why she did this. And the maid was like, you bitches need to fucking talk about so many things. Because the maid knows everything. The maid knows it all. Let's be honest.
The maid's like, I don't want to deal with the outcome of this. Like, they need to be back together. It's so much nicer when they're just talking.
Yeah. May's so much nicer with you. Yeah, exactly. Like happier, not nicer, but like happier.
Yeah.
Maid ships them. Let's be real. But yeah, every time this throws me off, I'm like, why is I in the room? I forget every time.
So unlike the time where May was coming into the room and putting on lotion and I didn't do anything to alert her till a lot later. I lets out a sigh as soon as May enters the room, which alerts May to the fact that she's there. So that's nice.
Yeah. But I just look so terrified. I feel so bad for her. She looks so scared.
I mean, I don't blame her. She just had this beautiful day, and then one moment was crumbled everything that they built.
Literally, a blast from her past that she'd rather forget ruined everything. And that's what she's really worried about. She's like, oh God, May's jealous and I'm losing her. And she's like, girl, that's not what May's worried about. It's so sad that she's this upset.
But we cut to May, and May has a slight smile when she realizes that I is still there before she asks, "You're still here?" And there's no hatred or any sense of being upset on May's part, like in her voice when she's asking this. Like, it's not like, "Oh, you're still here? What are you doing? I told you to leave."
Yeah.
It's like, you're still here, like impressed that she still stayed.
She's fighting for her, which is cute.
And also something that May doesn't get for herself.
Yes,
like,
exactly, for right? Like, nobody fights for May and nobody fights for I. That's why they're complements and perfect together.
They're so perfect.
Yeah.
I responds that she needs to talk to her. And again, this is I taking the fight response of fighting for May, because she could have easily went home and hugged herself until she eventually cried herself to sleep, which is such a sad thought.
No! Why would you give me that image? Yes, that's what's gonna happen. I don't need to think about that. Damn it, Caitlin.
And I knew I was just making it sadder, but like, that's what she could have done.
Yeah, I agreed. That's what she would have done. Or she would have got drunk. We see her do that too. Like, she just gets drunk.
And then cried herself to sleep.
Yeah, and then, exactly.
But we heard earlier and saw it, thank you, Theor, for pointing out, that May is her son. That makes everything better. And she doesn't want to lose that. Especially not for Kasol. Although, like, again, she doesn't even realize all the history there. Like,
not yet.
Not yet. And I asked May if she has any questions for her, to which May responds, "I'd rather you just tell me." And I love that response because I was technically trying to be open with May, but it puts it on May to know what to ask about rather than I being open. And this way it's making I actually think about what's important, what May should know. But at the same time, like, she can't know exactly what May's worried about and like what's going through May's head. So she's probably trying to figure, like, all right, like, what's going on with you so I can alleviate your worries. But again, May just wants her to be like, what is important here? You tell me, so that's what I can focus on. And it's also less hidden if the information's freely given. May doesn't want to be the person to be like, oh, well, do you still have feelings? Is this and that? Like, again, what's important to I?
Also, it's like a trust thing. It's like, I'm going to trust you, I, to tell me whatever truth you're going to tell me. So she's like putting her faith in I, basically, to like explain.
And May continues to say, all this time, you've never told me anything. All I know is you were a flight attendant. And I's reaction to this is just like, oh, this bitch never communicated.
Like, what was their relationship? What was it? That they never talked about stuff. What was it?
Feeling bad even more about how her sister treated this amazing person. But this is a good question. Like, why did not open up with May?
Right. Why? Like, before... Yeah, like, obviously when she learned about who May was in love with I, yeah, shit got weird. But, like, they were together a while before that, and, like, what the hell was their relationship then? Did they just never talk about anything?
Does have a voiceover later where she was like, I was worried about telling her about I because then everyone likes I better than me.
Yeah, for sure. But like, did never tell her anything about herself? Like,
that's true. Like
anything.
My
favorite color is blue. Like, what the fuck did they talk about? Is my question.
Did they talk?
Right.
Because they weren't staring at each other either. I don't.
What were their dates like? I don't get it.
Did they spend time together?
I don't know. know. That's my whole question about what the fuck was their relationship really like, because like they had to have talked about some things. So my question for this scene is May talking about or I and saying you never tell me anything. This is what you told me about That would
That's
make more
true.
sense than being like literally never talked to me for the years we were dating. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like how would you
That's
even date
true.
someone if you would never have to, you would literally never see each other. That would be the only way.
But May does
Anyway.
continue listing off all the things she does know, which is we were together, we fought, I became blind, you were gone, and now you're back. So like that's more of like the part of it.
That's like
But
what, but it's like all it reads is like, that's what I knows about and May.
that's true.
Because she'll
Actually,
say it later in the scene and she'll be like, this is what I know. Like she literally, that's all I knows. So I think this was geared more towards I than like actually about But like as the viewer, I'm like, what the fuck was in their relationship? Anyway, sorry.
But like reading it as if it was just like all she knew about like because maybe she did know other things, but none of it was real or felt real coming from
Maybe.
But like she had no idea what was actually going on because she was blindsided by the twin thing.
Totally.
When she literally became blind.
I
But
know.
again, we will have that conversation another day. That was wild.
Listen, that was like episode 4 of Blank, where you're like, what is this? Anyway, so, okay. So then when May is listing off all the things she, quote, knows about I's face goes on this journey, because this is another crossroads moment for I, right? Because some of what May says is actually about I, like that you came back and like this and that, but like most of it's about So yet again, she's in this position of deciding, do I lie and be or do I be myself and be honest? And truly, if you look at her in the scene, I looks really tired of being in this position, to be honest. Like she's like, this is exhausting. And you could see the battle of like, I don't want to keep doing this, really. Like I know I said fuck the truth a minute ago, and that was great, but I could lose May over that. You know what I mean? That war is waging in I right now.
I mean, who would want to have to do this every single day?
Listen, that sounds exhausting and terrible.
It is. And so I's solution is just like, all right, listen to the story of this And the smile on May's face says it all, because this is the she wanted to know more about all along.
Yes. And May knows that I is making the choice to be honest with her. Like, she has been all day long. Like, minus the Kasul stuff. Like, I has been super honest with her. So, like, here's I being like, I want to keep being honest with you. I think that means a lot to May.
Yeah. I mean, honesty is the best policy. And I follows that here because she does tell May her own story.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts off very sad because she's born in an unimportant family.
No, she says she was born unimportant in her family.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Like,
that's a good
she's
correction.
like, I'm the Pluto of my family is what she's saying.
Well, that's sadder.
I know, it's so sad. This is how I feels about her life, though. That's the sad part.
Yeah, she goes on to say, not a great student. Wasn't good at anything, really. I do beg to differ for that one. You're great at a lot of things. You're especially great at looking gaily hot.
I know, yeah. You're so good at that. You should make money off that. I mean, she does. Good job, Tam.
Yes, great job.
You found your calling. Well done, ma'am.
Someone people can't rely on. Again,
not true.
Not true.
This is how she feels.
Yes, but yeah, your feelings are valid.
Right. They're valid.
And friends were the only ones who made her feel important. And sometimes it went too far and they ended up dating, unfortunately.
Okay. So, all right. So then up until we get to this line about the dating shit, I was avoiding eye contact with May and avoiding looking at May. But after she says the dating part, that's when she looks at May. Because it's almost like that's what she was worried about. And she's expecting this really negative reaction, like jealousy, to come out of May. And that's what she's afraid of. Because I firmly believe that I is so upset because she thinks May is upset about her ex showing up. And then she's like, May's gonna be really upset to hear this. But watch May. May's just smiling because I think she's just like, telling me things about her life. And she's so happy about that. She's like, whatever, you had exes, who cares? I'm here now. This bitch is so confident. She's like, what am I threatened by? Like, I'm me.
That is so true.
Right?
She's like, but who's here now?
Right. Like
she's with me.
She's like, I dated your sister. That's even weirder. You got past that. So like, we can get past anything. I mean, it's true.
And
then it gets sadder.
Yeah, it gets sad. Yep. She says that she wanted to try loving someone and wanted to know what it felt like to be loved.
Knife in the heart at that line. God damn it.
And like, I get it though, because especially when you're growing up, people put so much weight on romantic relationships, and like, it feels like it's easier to just get it done with out of the way so you can know what people are talking about. And with Casol, again, like, her friends are the only ones who made her feel important. It was convenient for her to test a relationship out with him because it's the most connected she felt towards anybody in general.
Yep.
But the key part in this, what she said, is that she wanted to know what it felt like to be loved. Again, so sad, man.
Yeah. So to piggyback off of that, so what this all stems from her family Plutoing her, basically, right? Where she felt loved up until the parents died, and then Mima chose to love and not her from Ai's point of view. So Ai's been chasing love and what it feels like to be loved and cared for and protected and be important to somebody since she was a child. And so, like you said, it was really it's easy to conflate intense friendships with something romantic because friends can love each other platonically and be their ride or dies. She's like, I didn't feel important in my family. That's what she tells May. I felt important to my friends. So already they're on a pedestal because they see her as a valuable person. So then it was easy to get close to them and then be like, well, maybe you can love me in the way I want to be loved. And then quickly found out, no, it's not possible. We're not compatible like that. So I is still like chasing that feeling because she still doesn't know what it's like. Until she kissed May, and then she's like, oh my God, now I know what it feels like. Finally, after all this time. Because, like, here we are in the first time in her life. I knows what it's like to love somebody and be loved by them. And that person is May right here. And that was, like, the thing she wasn't expecting. But, like, here it is. Hence why she's so terrified in this conversation. Because she feels like she's losing it.
I mean, I feel for her so much. Like, if they could just, like, talk for real and May just, like, put her little worries right now to rest, that would be very helpful and nice. But
I mean, it would be, but also, like, I think this conversation is really important because it really contextualizes Ai's behavior when it comes to May and why she keeps playing along with the shit. This is how scared she is of losing May. That she's like, that's why she's willing to do kind of extreme things and keep this shit going, because this is how much it means to her to finally have this thing that she's always wanted and now has it and is so scared of losing it. Like, that motivates her throughout the show, really.
Very true. And eventually she does shift her explanation throughout this to talk about her feelings for May. And we get into this balloon metaphor where Ai describes love as the air in a balloon. And the whole conversation around this basically boils down to love is like the air inside the balloon, which represents the person in love. And you keep wanting more and more love to keep filling the balloon and keep that floaty feeling love gives you.
Yeah, and
so cute.
What Ai's also describing is first love, which is super intense because this is her first love. It's not just love, it's first love. And the same thing for May. I was May's first love, and that's the most intense version of love because all the big feelings are happening for the first time and you have no idea how to handle them when you're in that situation. So it like feels bigger than it actually is because it's very new. That's part of it. And yeah. So then but what I love the way they acted out this scene, right? So like while I is waxing poetic about what love feels like to her, watch May in this scene. May is like looking off into the distance, not at I. She's like looking off, almost like she's literally imagining what I is describing as she's describing it. Like she's visualizing this very concrete imagery that I is giving. Like, what a fucking description. Like, my God, like, it's really good. And so, and I just love the way film acted it. Like, May is actually seeing it, and you can see it on her face. Like, I love this detail of how they acted out the scene. It was really good choice.
I don't know what anybody else was picturing, if you were picturing something while she's talking, but I was picturing this like little heart balloon that just kept growing bigger and bigger.
Cute. It was really cute. And it's cute too on I's end because I is watching May while she's delivering these, explaining this. And she's watching as May becomes enchanted by what she's saying. And it makes you watch I throughout the conversation. She gets more and more confident in what she's saying because it's having an effect on May. And like she even smiles. So it's almost like it's like you post your fan fiction on AO3 and people like it and comment it, and then encourages you to write more. That's what's happening to I as she's explaining this metaphor. And it's just so cute to see like the effect of her thoughts and her words on another person, and like that's so validating for I. It's so cute to watch her be like, oh my God, look at this effect my words are having. Like it's adorable. I love that.
That's very cute. Also the same way it feels when people review the podcast.
Yes.
Anyway. So May starts having this floaty feeling, and she's still a little sad. So she feels up I's arm to grab onto, and her reasoning just makes you feel sadness because she says, I'm scared the balloon will float away from me.
Because once again, they're having two different conversations. And from May's point of view, she's afraid that when the truth comes out that I's going to run away. That's what she's afraid of. She's like, she definitely feels the same way, but she's like, I'm afraid you're going to leave me. And then especially with the Kasul stuff, she's like, if I was entangled with her attacker, and she's here saying my friends mean everything to me, that's also in May's brain. And she's like, shit, you might choose your friends, who's my enemy, over me. That's also in her brain right now. So she's terrified of losing I the way I is terrified of losing her. So they're kind of on the same page, but not for different reasons in the scene.
That's a really good point. It's still the May's point of view of it all. It's like we're slowly switching, like who's the more worried about the truth coming out, because now I doesn't really have to worry for her end.
But she's still worried. Because
she's still worried. She doesn't understand anything that's happening, which is just the curse of I.
The curse of
in Pluto. But I tries to reassure her by telling May that this feeling just doesn't happen with anyone. It happens when May loves her.
So cute.
And tells her not to, continues to tell her not to worry because Kasul is just an ex. And May cutely responds, I like it when you tell me things like this. And it's not just that I is telling her things. It's the fact that I is explaining how much May's love is reciprocated. Something that both of them need reassurance about, which is like a sort of love language that they share, like that they need to receive, because it's just, they've been beaten down so much by people in their lives. May literally, I just feels like that to the point where like, it just tell me how much I mean to you, and then I can believe it.
Also, this relationship is, again, clouded by the shadow of So there's also that going on, but you're absolutely 100% correct. What I love about this scene is when I basically says, I'm in love with you, is basically what I say. This is I's love confession. And then she transitions to be like, don't worry about my ex, he means nothing to me. May was not listening to that shit. Watch her face in this scene. She was just smiling. That bitch she was just fixated on the fact that I just confessed her feelings as I and not So of course she's like, please tell me more things, because she's like, tell me more about how you feel about me, I. Like, that's what she wants. She's like, tell me. I've been waiting years for this. Tell me, I. Tell me all the things.
And May, just this whole conversation talking about this metaphor is just really beautiful. And May says she can actually picture it and feel it like she's reading a novel. And like, seriously, I was born to be a writer because this comes naturally to her.
Yep.
I mean, you just start reading this journal.
Listen, and I love that May says this specifically because she has no knowledge of I's childhood dream to be a writer. Like, she just says it naturally. That's how she sees I, right? And to I, this is also something she always wanted, because this is somebody believing in her, which is the thing she wanted from Mima. Let's go back to the scene where she wrote the novel and she was really excited. She was going to show her grandmother, and then the grandmother was like, I's a moron, basically, is what she heard. Yeah. Right? And then she was like, she burned her dream that day. Here's May being like, you should, I can see you doing this. Like, that's so, and she didn't even like show her a story. She just like told her thoughts. And then she's like, wow, you'd be really good at this. Like, that is so validating for I, who like wasn't even seeking that. You know what I mean? Like, all she's received her whole life is rejection. And here's May validating her like forgotten dream. That's huge. That's so huge. And May had no idea that like that was a dream I had. Like, she just said it.
Yeah, it's not something that she had to ask for.
Right. It's just, again, they very naturally see the best in each other, which I really love about them.
Yes. And the cute moments, they're just always there. And I makes a comment that May is more of a bookworm than she thought. And unfortunately, that brings us to not so cute things, but also cute because it's still May. But it brings us to the trauma of it all, which is how May used books to drown out her parents fighting while she was growing up. And the sound of her imagination while reading books, that's the equivalent to what I is doing and feels when she rides her bike to drown out the world.
Yep.
And this is very heartbreaking if you really think about it, because with May being blind now, she doesn't have that as a way to cope anymore. Because yes, there's Braille books. She can still read, but she can't lose herself in them as much anymore, because hearing is her only sense of defense for what's going on around her. So if she's lost and like drowning out all the sounds around her, she can't feel safe.
Yeah. And it's also really interesting the way they both used books as children. So like you said, that was her escapism from her shitty home life. Whereas like when I and were younger, that was like escapism in a positive way, where like that was how I and bonded as kids. So it's really fucking, again, May's story is so much fucking sadder when you look at, because she was alone. She was just alone. So she had to escape by herself. And the only place you can escape by yourself as a kid who has no autonomy is your own imagination. Whereas like I had at the end of the day, like, yes, I shit is all sad, but she had okay? For better or worse, right? Okay. I'm gonna skip this till next time. Okay, can we talk about how when we can we cut back to the present? So like basically it's like May was like leaning on I's shoulder, and then she's like, let me tell you about my background. And then when we cut back, they're fully lying down, and I has repositioned herself so she's fully cuddled into May's side, which happened off screen. So my question is, who started this? And because like my money's on I, because I's a cuddle monster. And like, because you know what I mean? Like they had to who decided, how did they get there? Who instigated this? I think
no, it's definitely I starting to slowly like just melt into May.
And yeah. May's like, I guess I'm trying to tell you a story, I. And she's like, I guess we'll just lay down real quick. That was all I. Like, it has to be. She's so fucking clingy.
Also, you have to be laying down to hear a bedtime story, right?
Well, she's guiding May into the bedtime story. But yeah, that would happen first. I was just like, why are you guys laying down now? How did this happen? Why is this off screen?
I remember I was like, hold on. Do I need to go back? Like, how did they get this close? First of all,
I'm
I'm like, how did
saying.
we get here?
I'm saying.
So thank you
Or maybe
for.
I was like sensing May was like really upset by this because this is triggering, right? This is trauma. So maybe I was
Yeah.
trying to comfort May and like, but also comfort herself because she likes cuddling. I think I instigated this.
She's like, if it'll help you.
If it'll help you.
But speaking of helping her, we get the flashback to little May's trauma. And her father's narcissistic personality is on full display here because he's yelling at his wife. Didn't I tell you to raise our child with discipline? You never do. And another thing that he says is, you never do what I want.
I'm sorry. Is this not the exact same fight they were having at the end of the last episode? Like,
Maybe
this is the
this is.
same fucking fight. Like, it's been 20 years and they're still having the same fucking fight where the dad is blaming the mother for everything that goes wrong.
Maybe this is why it was so easy for May to lose herself in books, because it was just the same conversation going on in the background.
Listen, how are they not divorced is my question. Why are they still together? Money's not everything. Anyway, fucking ridiculous.
But reputation is in for
Big
them.
reputation. Big reputation. You're gonna have a big conversation.
Speaking of conversation, that's not a conversation whatsoever. The father gets gradually louder as he's yelling, and once he starts raising his voice, like he's like a constant volume, and then as he's starting to raise his voice more, little May tries to hold the book closer to her, and I saw this as her trying to drown him out even more because she needs it. She's like trying to cling on to it because like, oh, he's getting louder, he's starting to get into my thoughts, I need to get them away. And but like little May is unwavering throughout this. Like you don't see any effect on her face, showing that like this really did work for her. Like the only thing that even pointed towards her discomfort during this is when she moved the book towards her.
Yeah, she had that like stone face even as a kid, which is so sad.
Yeah. Yeah. We only see her be able to be herself with I.
I know. It's so sad.
And then after this, I announces that she's going to write a novel. And I'm sure that I has been thinking about this a lot, but the fact that hearing this is what helps hearing that this is what helps May to escape, it makes up I's mind that she's going to do it, and it's really sweet that that's the case. And because she wants another way to be able to help May, but I do think that this is for herself too, because we saw how happy she was once she finished that story and was going to show Mima, and she knows now that if she writes a novel, it's not going to be met the same way. It's going to be met by somebody who truly loves books and wants to read what she writes, and it'll be met by love rather than not even seeing the light of day because she'll end up burning it.
Yeah, like literally all of that. I think the key is that leading up to this, May was like, "Oh, you should be a writer." So May gave I the courage to dream again. Which is so huge. Like cuz when she was like, "Oh, you could be a writer." Like I looked really hopeful, you know? And we'll see later in a flashback that she basically did share this dream with Pang. And it didn't go over well because like Mima already crushed her spirits and like she's tried to voice this to other people. People and Pang tried to encourage her, but I was like, no, like I can't. But like May just like out of the blue was like, you should do this. Like not I seeking the validation, May just gave it to her. And I think that to your point, this is a way to help May, which I would do anything for the people she loved. So that's a motivator. But also like it's her dream and like she's getting the chance to dream again, and that's also huge. If somebody or something can give you that, like that's also really huge. So May doesn't even realize the way she's like giving I life again in this big, big way that she hasn't had in a really long time.
And I don't believe that they have that conversation in here, but I hope at least one day I can tell her how much that this moment really meant to her.
Me too.
Ugh,
Yeah.
because it's
Me too.
such a huge moment for I. But then May makes a comment that not only is she a flight attendant, but she's an author too. And this is what makes I's face fall, because this is bringing the shadow of back to everything. And she wants May to focus on this not what she knew about that And I tells her that she isn't a flight attendant anymore, just a jobless person. And she goes into telling her about the story she wrote in high school, but plays it off by saying it's not that serious, as one does when they don't want to make it seem like a big deal. But I confidently says that she thinks that she should try again. And she's only looking at May while saying this because May is the source of her confidence. Like, she's the reason why she's like, I think I can do this. And then again, she encouraged her without even realizing.
I feel like there's a double meaning in this line when I says I should try again. Because remember, I had this dream before. We watched it go up in flames. And like I said, fire can be metaphorically about like rebirth and things like that. And I think that when she burned the story as a kid, she was reborn as somebody who doesn't dream, but like exists in the harshness of reality, which is just like living day to day, right? Which is really existing when you're in survival mode. You're existing, but not living, that kind of thing. And so to try again is I's way of saying, I'm going to live for me, not just like do it for the grind, do it for my family. I'm going to live for me. So she's saying, I'm going to try again to chase that dream that she thought was lost forever. And also like she's going to try again to get the thing that she wanted since her parents died, which is unconditional love and support. And I think that's also what I is saying. And looking at May is important because May is the one that also gives her those things.
Well, that's a good read too, because but either way, like May does solidify like giving I confidence because she tells her that I believe you can do it. And I at this point actually looks up to her and asks her for her support.
That's
And
so cute.
We find out that she's talking about a bedtime story, which, May is not thrilled about because her idea of support was a bit more physical because she tries to kiss her. And, it's very supportive. Okay.
It is.
But it's so great because I is actually seeking and verbalizing wanting support.
Yes.
Which is huge for her because she's never done this before.
No.
And it just shows how much she is growing as a person by having this relationship with May. And just shows that May is a great source in her life. Unlike May's family and hers. Like, it's not antagonistic, or whatever the word is for this. But
or it's also like not I's family where everybody's off doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that I verbally asked support me in this, just in general, was really huge for her to say. What a vulnerable thing for I to say,
Yes. And that vulnerability probably makes May feel even more content and like with everything that just happened today.
Exactly.
So like we're finally getting back to that place where they were earlier.
Yes.
And getting past all of the negative emotions that was happening.
Well said. And they didn't just like brush off the negative shit. Like they did like talk about it and process it like adults, which was really good. And they were honest with each other about their backgrounds and stuff. So like there was honesty and there was like healthy emotional processing of stuff that got them back here. And thank you, GMMTV. Love that.
Yes, because like although they are ignoring some parts just so the fact that they could be happy,
drama.
Because drama, they know like they can't ignore things if they want an actual relationship and to move forward.
Right. Exactly.
Eventually, all the shit's gonna come out, but by dealing with the little things as they come, it's not going to be as bad.
Yeah. One thing I'm really surprised in the scene is that, like, okay, so, like, when I ask for support, May gives her a little forehead kiss. And, like, I'm honestly surprised May waited this long to kiss I today, honestly. Like, you know, like,
Yeah,
so much shit was happening. Like, she could have kissed her a lot today. And, like, I would have rolled with that. Let's be honest.
because even after eating the ice cream, she could have just like kissed her hand too. That was
Right. Like,
holding it.
I'm just surprised. And May's been so bold, you know. I'm just kind of,
Yeah.
I guess she was kind of like, I'll let I lead. Like, this is kind of fun, you
Yeah,
know?
this is her day.
It's
This
her
is your
day.
day of showing me you.
Right.
So,
I can lead. They're switches. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Anyway, so then, but like, why does I want a bedtime story? I love that she says that your bedtime stories inspire me. And to me, that was the first clue that, like, not I, May is I's muse. Okay. And a muse comes from, like, Greek mythology. And they were basically these 9 women, because of course women, who were basically like sources of, like, creativity and, like, divine inspiration, basically, that, like, made art and big intellectual achievements possible. Essentially, you got the muse, and that's kind of how these things happen. And I kind of love that because, like, what's happening with May right now, like we've kind of pointed out, is so big and, like, something I's never had. So it's almost like a unique experience, like a divine inspiration would have been. And you kind of see with I, like, throughout the show, the way where she is May's sunshine, like we mentioned in this episode. It's all the reverse is also true, where May is I's sunshine, okay, and, like, source of happiness. And to I, you see her be more playful and creative naturally when she's with May. Hence, let's go back to the ice cream scene. What was I thinking in that moment? Emily Dickinson poems. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she gets really creative when she's having feelings about May specifically. We've seen that over and over again with the journal entries. And they get more and more poetic the more I's feelings escalate. So it read to me as like a muse in a way, where, like, the inspiration actually comes from May. And side note, one of the muses in Greek mythology, her name was Urina, and it means heavenly one, but it's the same root word as Uranus, which is a planet. So you're welcome. There's the Pluto tie-in to the muses.
love it. Thank you. That was very relevant and
But I
needed.
think it is relevant for a creative
Yeah.
person to have somebody inspire them. And that is
Oh, yeah.
that's important for a writer who gets writer's block, and also important as, like, a creative to have that source of inspiration. That's gonna, like, fuel I's feelings towards May even more, to, like, have the creative euphoria coming from May too. That's a positive feedback loop, like, as she's gonna write. So I think that's also being established here.
I want to back up really quickly to when May hears that I says, I meant to tell me a bedtime story, because her pout is
Oh
just
my god. That
adorable.
was so cute.
She's like, what?
She's like, I wanted to make out. What do you mean you want a bedtime story? How old are you, I?
But eventually May does relent and tells I a story as she rubs I's head
Ugh.
that is now laying as close as possible to her, which we've established it was I's doing.
Yes, that was I.
And her story is this. Once upon a time, there was a town known as the Town of Stars, because it was full of bright, beautiful stars. But there was one star far away from the others, with a color different from the rest. That's why the people couldn't see it. Yeah. And I'm like trying to read into this, be
Pluto.
like, how could it be about them? Yes, first of all, Pluto. But also, is this not the opening of Friendly Rivalry?
Yeah, basically.
It's like literally because a star was a different color. Just go watch the opening of
Yeah,
Friendly
it's
Rivalry.
literally, yeah, that's valid.
Okay. So we go from here to I meeting up with Kasul and Pang in the middle of the night, because Kasul called the group here to talk.
I need to have a meeting of misfits. Get over here.
That's so true. All right. So apparently Pang explained the whole story to Kasul off screen, and Kasul is less than thrilled and asks snide questions towards I in return. And I just want to know, like, see what and how Pang described this whole situation as, because as we know, like,
Yes.
her own feelings are complicated throughout this
Yes.
whole thing. So, like, how is she really? And there's another part in here, like, that definitely makes it seem like she was emphasizing certain parts rather than others.
Uh-huh. Yeah. His behavior in the scene makes me think that came from Pang.
Um, but we're actually here to talk because Ben wants to see them. And we get this flashback of them racing their bikes and the moment that Ben is hit. Like, it is
Oof, yeah.
not great.
No.
And when we come back to the present, Pang reveals that they all went their separate ways after the accident and Ben was left paralyzed.
Which seems weird. If they were ride or dies, why did they just like abandon Ben?
Yeah,
That
because it
seemed
seems like
weird.
I thought that like they all separated ways, but it seems like the three of them still still kept in
Yeah.
touch. So did they just leave Ben out except Kasol? Because we see Kasol was like, yeah, I've been
The
talking to
intermediary,
him.
yeah. I don't
So
know, or
like,
did I don't get it, or did Ben be like, "I need space"? Like, this
which
seems really weird. Like, I don't get what happened here.
especially for this group.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It just, yeah, it reads as weird if they're set up to be ride or dies, you know?
Yeah, and Kasol, like that's when Kasol says that Ben is still bedridden, but he's now more upbeat and wants to see them. So maybe it is the case that
He needed time to process, which
yeah.
is fair because the other thing Kasol mentions is that Ben is disabled for life because of this accident. So now we have a second disabled character, but this character is in a permanent situation, unlike May, which is a temporary disability, because Chow loves those. But that'll be important later. And the key is that he's feeling better now, and we'll come to find out why, and it actually has to do with May, which Kasua I don't think realizes.
Yeah. I says that she wants to visit Ben, but lately she has been. But before she can finish that, Pang cuts her off by saying, busy with your sister's girlfriend?
I mean,
And
yes.
Pang does not look at her while she says this because we know that she's not a supporter of this situation. Okay, first of all, I do get it. It does seem weird out of context. But for Ai's point of view, her sister was going to break up with her. We keep reiterating this point and wasn't
Listen,
even treating her the right way,
as far as she knows. Yeah, exactly.
as far as she knows. I mean, later she does still like it. But anyway,
Their relationship is weird. I still don't
Yes.
fully get the I and the and May situation.
But yeah,
I still don't get
nope.
it.
We never will, unfortunately. It
No, we
doesn't
never
seem like
will.
it. It's not until Kasol asks her if she felt something when she kissed May, and I says yes, that Pang whips her head to look at I. Because Pang has seen I's protectiveness over May, but this is I verbalizing her feelings,
Yes.
which is something huge, and she doesn't really know how to or has ever probably. And it seems like something that just this group in general struggles with. So that means it's real.
So, okay, so if we're going off the novel stuff with which I feel like we are based on the rest of this conversation, is that the thing about I is that in the novel, I think I've mentioned this before, I was like the hot twin, which makes no sense because they're the same they look the same. But anyway, whatever. I's the hot twin. And so she had all these like boyfriends, I guess. And basically like what she would do is she would start dating them. And it's like Kasul. And she would start dating them and then it would get up to then they would kiss and then I would be like, I have no feelings for you. And then she would end the relationship right after the first kiss. So them being ride or dies, they know that I hasn't had actual feelings towards anybody she's ever dated. So the fact that she's saying she has feelings is new because she's never had, and he does comment on that. And then what a straight guy thing to do, where Kasol, the first thing he asks her about her and May is, did you feel something when you kissed her? Like, what a straight guy thing to do. Because, like, he's the ex, and if you're going towards the novel, kissed him and was like, I don't feel anything, this is over. That's probably how it ended. So But what a straight guy thing to be like. Not how are you? Like, did you feel something? Was it weird because you're women? Like, what these questions
Yeah,
he's
this whole
asking?
thing, this scene is like, it's so hard not to talk about the whole thing while you're talking about one part because it's just he does the same thing multiple
He
times and like says
does.
the same questions different ways though.
It's true.
And he's just like doesn't seem to wrap his head around like she does feel something. And I even tells him that like they were just messing around. So again, it literally meant nothing to her. But he does know that their relationship didn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, GMMTV had Casol process this and be cool with it. That was not the case in the novel, but because I was breaking hearts and didn't care because she didn't feel anything, so she never knew what heartbreak was. That was the point Chow was trying to make. But here they like humanized everybody and made it a little different. Something I want to note is that when he asks her, "Did you feel something?" and I says, "Yes, I did." The look of conviction on her face is really something. The way not only is she saying this thing her friends have never heard her admit to before, she looks so fucking serious when she says it. Like the intensity of this statement, I think, is one of the things that really takes all of her friends by surprise. Because I really comes off as this like unserious person, and like here's this thing she's saying, and she's being like dead serious about it. So it's like even more startling. Like, especially look at Pang. Pang's like, whoa, like she's serious right now. This isn't just, she's not just saying this. Like, that's surprising too.
This is so off topic, but I look so good right now.
She looks so good. Be serious more, ma'am. It's
just
something.
like her hair is just
Her hair.
Yeah, I mean she
Oh
just
my
always
God.
looks like
Hydrate
this,
for
but
high.
like sometimes you just look at her and you're like, damn, she looks good.
She looks really good in this scene.
Meanwhile, would love to stay and just stare at I some more. So sorry you can't do that right now, May.
Yes.
Casol is continuing to push in on the fact that the first time she felt something, it was with her sister's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, and then proceeds to ask if it was weird that they were both women. And this is when Pang's attention gets brought in again because she was listening the whole time, but like focus in on what I is doing, and she's just looking at I with pain like on her face. Like you can just see it in her eyes.
Yeah, like this is Pang's "why can't it be me" moment. Like you see it on her face. Like we get there later in the episode, but like it's on her face in this scene where she's like, "Why couldn't it have been me?" Like you just see the envy dripping off of her.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not easy for her. She just goes about things the wrong way of reacting to it. But like it can't be easy to think to have a crush on your friend. You're like, okay, there's no chance for me to be with her anyway, so I'll just live with it.
And then
and now you're with a girl.
Right.
And it's not me.
It's not me. Like poor Pang. If you've never been in this situation, the situation is the actual fucking way. This is its own hell being in this situation. Like Pang is in. Been there. It sucks so badly. Like, yeah, this is awful. I feel so bad for Pang in this scene. And like I really comes off as callous because in the scene right now because I think she's protecting May and protecting her feelings for May, so she's really focused on that. But it like kind of she can come off as callous when she gets into this conversation. So like that must hurt Pang too.
Yeah. I mean, Pang, like you're not going to make it out of this whole thing without being crushed.
Yes.
You're just not.
I'm sorry, little baby gay.
And where we are in the scene, we stay on these emotions until it looks like we're just done with the scene and we're just going to move on to another day. And I was thinking about like and then it cuts back to the scene as a flashback technically. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking about how it was so weird to have this little scene in between. And then I realized that like again we are viewing this as I's journal, and because there's so many emotions going on, it's overwhelming I. So we cut to a scene where I is getting on her bike and Mima has to remind her to bring the offerings to the shrine, and she's in such a rush that Mima actually asks, like, why, what is the rush? And Mima, it's feelings. Feelings are the rush.
Feelings.
Quite literally. And I is getting on her bike, is getting her through telling us what was going on. So I just really, it was a great intercut scene
Mm-hmm.
so she can deal with the emotions to get through the rest of the scene. But back to this conversation, Kasol is once again still pushing Ai about her feelings. Because really, again, this is new for all of them. And Kasol says, it's obvious you feel something, you like her, you like your sister's girlfriend. And they're really hung up on this part.
Because it's
And
weird.
but also, that's what makes me think that Pang really touched on that part
Yes.
multiple times.
Totally.
Which is why it's sticking with Kasol the most, because Pang's like, and it's her sister's girlfriend. She's ended up with her sister's girlfriend, and said that over and over. But again, it's this tricky situation that no one knows the full story of.
Yes.
And Ai says that all she knows is that she wants to protect her, and she hates it when people look down on her. And then she says, like, maybe it's because the first time I liked a girl. Maybe it's because of that. And here, she's really twisting the knife in Pang's heart.
Yes.
She's giving Pang some heart pangs here.
Or Pang.
And even the sound effects team helped us out, because to hear how much it affects Pang, because there's this, like,
sharp breath.
Like, yeah, the sharp note, like, bass. To it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like a hit to her.
Oh, my poor baby.
As soon as, yeah. Because you do have to feel for Pang, too, in the situation. Remind yourself that Pang is feeling these huge emotions that she can't even verbalize.
I know. It's really shitty. But can we all take a moment to appreciate Ai's thought process? Because she's like, she starts that monologue of being like, I don't know why I like her. She's like, I would kill anybody that looks at her funny. But, like, I don't know, maybe this is just because, like, this is the first girl I've dated. Maybe this is just what dating women is like. Like, it's a thought every baby gay ever has. They're like, why am I having these intense feelings? Like, for she's like, maybe this is what dating women is like. I don't know. And it's like, girl. I love that that's her thought process. It's so gay. I love it. It's so funny.
Oh, girl, you are in love.
No, but, like, queer women have these thoughts. So, like, it was so real whoever wrote this. Like, I don't know. I just guess dating women are just more intense than dudes. I don't know. Like, I've had so many bisexual female friends express this. So, like, it was really, this was so real. I love I.
Oh my gosh, that's even funnier.
It's really funny. It's very real.
Okay, so then Kasol asks if May's blindness will be cured. And I rightfully ask why he's asking this, because why are you asking this?
That's not shady at all.
No. And he tells her that she seems confused when she talks about her, and she needs to figure it out before she gets her sight back. Oh, okay. But he's also probably hoping that she does get her sight back, so it can cure his own feelings about everything that happened.
Well, he's worried May's gonna get her sight back and then put him in jail. That's what he's worried about. He is legitimately worried about that.
Yeah, he actually doesn't want her to. He doesn't want her to get her sight
He
back.
verbalizes that in later episodes when he's confronted with May. Yeah. But he's like, no, I just want you to be cool about this.
Yeah. And I responds, I don't know.
And then she says, Jan told me, and then trails off. And it's like, I, for the love of lesbian Jesus, finish this fucking sentence. Like, what did Jan actually tell you? Like, you give us an abbreviated version, but, like, what the fuck was the conversation with Jan? Because it seems like Jan told you the same story that May told you in the bedroom, where she was like, they fought. May is blind. Well, she didn't tell you May was blind. She just told you one part of it. I'm like, what did Jan actually fucking tell you?
Or, like, is this later after May was blind? And I don't know. Like, does she still have conversations with Jan?
Jan knew May was blind, because there's a scene later where Jan is in the hospital with Boom.
But
when May's blind.
Does I and Jan continue talking even more?
No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, kind of later when she's trying to woo May and then she gets Pang in on it and then she also gets Jan to help her and that's how those two meet.
Yeah.
But like they don't talk outside of the case, but like initially Jan had to be the one who's like she talked to Jan before she actually went to go see May. But like
Yeah.
what the fuck was that conversation? She didn't tell you May was blind.
We
Like, she
need
told
that.
you nothing.
We need footage of this conversation.
That's what I'm saying. I really want that. What was the conversation? Was it just like a text? Like, what the hell did they talk about? Because it seems like nothing, honestly.
Yeah.
She gave her the address. That was about it.
Anyway, I explains that Jan is friend, and she told her that they fought before the accident even happened and May went blind. So they've been fighting this whole time. And Kasol's helpful response is, then right now you must stop feeling confused. Thank you, Kasol. That's very useful.
Well, like, there's nothing confusing. If and May were fighting, they were on the outs. Now you were on the ins.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So stop. Yeah. You know. Anyway, so Pang stands up now. Like she's starting to come down from her feelings going on in her head, and like finally is able to act, and tells her that she shouldn't have been confused in the first place because May was never kissing her, since that kiss was always meant for But like, again, sorry, Pang, to give you more heart pangs, but that kiss was always meant for I.
Yeah. But I mean, from this point of view where they don't know what's going on, I think this is valid. And yes, Pang has ulterior motives for what she's saying, but I think Pang really is the voice of reason when it comes to this whole situation. And I do think she's saying this because she does deep down care about I and doesn't want her to get hurt. And she has seen I since the beginning, where I was like, this was weird. My sister's dating a woman. Like, she saw it from their first interaction that like May, like I is changing around May, and like now it's really confirmed that I is like falling for this person who thinks she's her sister, allegedly. So like I think she is worried that I's gonna get her heart broken. Like imagine the first person you have feelings for, okay, thinks you're somebody else. Like, I think there's also that where she's like, I'm worried my friend is gonna get her heart broken, and she doesn't seem to care. And like, who's gonna be there to pick up the pieces when I gets her heart broken? Pang. So like, you know, like I think she's worried about
that is valid, because if you do strip away everything and like the face value of the situation,
which is what they know, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. And yeah, exactly. So I think that was valid.
Yeah, there's just so much more going on under the surface. But that's where we end. No, that was not the episode, but like this episode and part 2 of episode 4.
Yeah, so we got a lot of cuteness. We got a love confession, which is huge and great. But then we got the shadow of that came back and just and
it's always the shadow of
the shadow of All right, so with that, let's give our Taylor Swift songs for this episode. I have to give it up. Well, we already named Reputation for the dad and the mom. Their big conversation, those idiots. There's that. I'm also Wildest Dreams, because that was Take Your Girlfriend to Work day for I. That was I's wildest dream. She got to have a girlfriend. The girlfriend got to be May. She told all the people. She got to lick her hand. What a day.
My song for this, really part 2, is You Are in Love. However, I mean, yes, part 1 too, but specifically these parts of the song where it goes, and for once you let go of your fears and your ghosts, one step, not much, but it's said enough. And I was just thinking about the scene about I telling May she's going to write the novel.
Love it.
Because she had to let go of her own trauma surrounding that.
Yes.
And like, just the one thing from May is enough for her.
Yeah.
And then the chorus for the song, you can hear it in the silence. You can feel it on the way home. You can see it with the lights out. You are in love, true love. And it's like I is realizing she can't avoid it because she is in love with May. And we see that because she's realizing that her feelings, she keeps using the word protect because that in her head, that's protection is love.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just hung up on the fact that love is being translated to protection. So she knows that she wants to protect her. And it's just like she is realizing it, and we get these little moments, and it's so abundantly clear to everyone that she has these feelings for her and she's in love.
And that's really interesting that you say that because it's true. And also, like, again, it's reciprocated from May because May's infatuation with I started with I protecting her. So, like, their love language is protection. So, damn, that's really good. All right. What gets your big gay energy award? If it's not the ice cream scene, what are we
That's
doing?
exactly what I was gonna do.
What are we doing?
What other thing? Like the confidence, some audacity.
I'm
like,
sorry,
what the
May, the lawyer being like,
Oh,
give
yes,
her
yes,
my
yes,
business card, and her just standing there as I's like guardian angel. There's also that had big gay energy, but the ice cream scene wins because what the hell, I?
Yeah, what the hell was that? And that was like because also like the feelings of her tongue, like that was just adding more gayness.
Yeah, after May was like, well, your senses are heightened when you're blind, and then here's I licking her hand, and May's like literally frozen because of all the sensations. Yep, that was a really gay scene. Thank you, GMM TV.
Yes, thank you.
Honestly, I like that better than a full makeout scene. Like, that was way more sensual and romantic and just well done. Love it so much. So much big gay energy.
Ain't that the truth? All right. So we've made it to the end of this episode, which means it's time for my little challenge. And today I do have a word for you. I want you to use the word pang. The word, not the name. So the word pang and that definition of it in a review or a comment. Again, I don't really know how you would use any of these words in reviews, but you know, that's your challenge.
I would love to see it. So yeah, pang it up all over the place, everybody. Well, thank you for coming on this journey. We'll pick it up next time with part 2 of episode 4, which will come out after this. So until then, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.